allow the children.
It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay.
She
off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo. My egun don't come, oh, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo. My egun don't come, oh, yo. Man of the masses, my ego don't come, my ego diary politico, my ego la wamo la moto do. My ego diary. Ayégun làwa mọ̀ láwọn tó jódodo. Ayégun diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wán. Ayégun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Ayégun diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wán. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Ayégun diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wán. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Máyégún já wa sí. Ayégun diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wán. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Máyégún diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wán. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Máyégún máa wí. Máyégún diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wán. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Máyégún diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wán. Máyégún diary politico. Máyégún diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wán. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Máyégún. Máyégún diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wán. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Máyégún diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wán. Àní Máyégún làwa mọ̀ tó dódòdó. Máyégún diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wán. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. lórí YouTube.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Hello there. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. Good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. This is Máyégún live. Thank you very much for joining me. Please, as you are joining, after reading the caption of the broadcast, kindly read the description of the broadcast as well. Like it, share it, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends. Tell them that Máyégún today, Máyégún is live. After that, sit back, relax, and enjoy the presentation. Thank you. Tonight, we are starting with Thiefnubu's plea. Not yesterday, 2 days ago, when the ECOWAS finally let go of Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, who left ECOWAS after the supposed West African bloc was supposed to stand with them, chose to stand with France, the colonialist that has been exploiting them, impoverishing them for decades, rather than support the decision of the people of these 3 West African countries to do away with the French stooges, French installed rogues and rogue governments in their countries, which they overthrew. West African Economic of West African States, ECOWAS, led by Thiefnubu, decided to started assembling soldiers to invade Niger Republic, as well as placed economic sanctions on these West African countries. So they told them they were no longer interested in being part of the African Union or ECOWAS. So, in that supposed 66th meeting of the ECOWAS executives inside the assholerock in Abuja, Thiefnubu delivered a message in which he also used Ghana as a reference or as a contact point, or as a reference point, by saying that the rest of West Africa should try to emulate Ghana, that conducted the presidential and parliamentary elections just a few days or weeks ago, where the opposition defeated the ruling party, and it is considered as the role model of what elections should be. And that is coming from somebody who rigged the election in Nigeria, somebody who tribalized the election in Nigeria, religionalized the election in Nigeria, where people were killed because of their religion. People were killed and prevented from voting because of their tribe and their ethnic nationality. Now, that same hypocrites, Thiefnubu, the Jaga Banditi, the Jaga Addicti, the Asiwaju Anwole, the aṣíwájú àwọn agbèrò, the aṣíwájú of àwọn apààyàn, from the apààyàn People's Congress, All Promises Council, APC, Ẹgbẹ́kẹ́gbẹ́. He delivered a speech. I want to start from the boring part before we get to the interesting parts. Ladies and gentlemen, from Thiefnubu.
On the disparate discussion we have engaged in over the course of this summit, it underscores the strength of our collective resolve to address the pressing challenges facing our region. As we move forward to implement the outcomes of this summit, let us remain united in our determination and steadfast in our commitment to the principles that bind us together as a community. I call on all member states to redouble their efforts in ensuring that decision reached here translates into tangible benefit for our citizens. Your Excellencies, we close the 66th Ordinary Summit. Let us carry with us the optimism and belief we resolve that we have guided our deliberations and our people. Together, let us continue to champion the cause of a peaceful, secure, and prosperous West Africa to build ECOWAS as a community of people anchored on the ideals of freedom, justice, and democracy. A vision that is propelled by good governance that addresses the legitimacy and legitimate aspiration of our people. Once again, well as Abu Faki attends his last meeting of ECOWAS, I say thank you on behalf of the ECOWAS and Africa. No, every one of us here. At the last meeting of Nana Akufo-Addo, Mr. Democrat, we will always want to draw from the fountain of your wisdom. So don't be further away because you are in Ghana. I want to thank all of you for a very successful summit. Thank you.
Thank you. The closing remarks of His Excellency bring us to the end of this summit. I would ask you cordially to please rise for the ECOWAS anthem.
Nuisance leleyi. Nuisance leleyi.
Baba nuisance. So that was Koolu there, saying that people should draw from Akufo-Addo, another disaster, who destroyed Ghana, like Boko Haram destroyed Nigeria, impoverished Ghana, destroyed Ghana's economy. The people of Ghana thought that they were having something better than what Mahama was offering them at the time, building their infrastructures, improving their economy, but he was accused of corruption. Only for Akufo-Addo, like Boko Haram in Nigeria, to take over Ghana and ruin whatever it was that they called gain at the time. And rather than build infrastructure, he started commissioning gates. In fact, it's ridiculous. So anyway, it was there on his last summit, okay, of being part of the ECOWAS. Meanwhile, the people of Burkina Faso, the people of Mali and the Niger Republic are very much happy to be parting ways with these supposed Westerners to G's, the puppets. They call them the puppets. So, I mean, there's this image. Look at this image, right? These are people that are part of the ECOWAS meeting. Look at these guys. ECOWAS is Economic Council, I've been a committee of West African states. Why do you have all these guys at their meeting? This was supposed to be the executive meetings of the African head of states, head of governments, discussing African issue, African matter. You see, the African Union in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, the African Union headquarters, or formerly the Organization of African Unity, OAU, which changed to African Unity now. They call it African Union, rather, African Union or something. So AU, their headquarters in Addis Ababa is built by China, which simply means that whatever they are discussing inside that building, somebody is listening to them in China. Yeah, that's how poor these African criminal leaders, this is how they have been. So you will never see Africans or African representatives attend the European Union head of government meeting. Never. I mean, standing there where decisions are being made. You will never see this, this African head of states invited to the Asian summit, where Asian head of government are meeting to discuss the economy and the future of the Asian countries or Arab countries. But in Africa, these guys they have this permanent feature. They are always there because to them, they can't really trust these African leaders, right? That they won't do anything untoward. So they have to send their representative to be present. Chinese, Japanese, Europeans, Americans, all of them attending the executive session of the African head of state meeting, West African head of state meeting. So this AES Sahel states, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, who have now formed their own bloc, right? To them, it is a good riddance to bad rubbish. So by the end of January 2025, you will no longer see their flags or anything that has to do with them at all in the ECOWAS or African Union. They are like, done. Go and continue to be the puppets of the West and continue to welcome economic policies that will continue to impoverish your people and your countries. Over to you. Right? And that is a win. Somebody said that's actually a big win for 2024 win for these French West African countries. I don't know if I should still call them that, because they themselves will not call themselves French West African countries anymore, right? So they are doing everything as well to also remove French as the official languages in these countries. They have stopped spending the franc as official currency. They are taking that away as well. They are taking everything that has to do with France away from their table, while Nigeria is embracing every bit of it. Now, do you know that the book that Dele Farotimi published, even though they have Dele Farotimi locked up somewhere, this book is going to be the best thing that ever comes out of that contraption for generations to come. This book has not only exposed the rotten judiciary in Nigeria, it has also exposed those who have been living in this in the swamp of corruption, right? And this book the way it is going may likely be the revolutionary book that is going to bring down the establishment of Nigeria. It is just a matter of time. More and more people are ordering the book. However, it is also exposing, like validating everything Dele Farotimi wrote about the Nigerian judiciary, right? So the latest among them is this person. In the last 11 days, they've locked Dele Farotimi up now for 13 days. Yeah, 13 from the 3rd of December when he was kidnapped and then denied his right to defend himself. So we now have it on a good authority that these guys are likely going to help us to understand better everything that Dele Farotimi wrote in that book. So far, we have the police commissioner in Ekiti, sued Dele. We have the police IG of Nigeria, sued Dele for cyberbullying. Now we have another member of Afe Babanlaole chamber. He said he's a partner. Afe Babanlaole chamber. He has sued Dele Farotimi in Abuja, and that is Ogun State. His own prayer was that the book must not be sold anymore, and all the bookshops selling the book must be stopped, and the book must be seized. Not just that, he wants all the proceeds, every penny realized through the sale of this book, to be given to Afe Babanlaole. So not just that, okay, he's also suing Dele Farotimi for 500 million naira defamation. Now another guy, Ola Faro, sued Dele Farotimi to a Portharcourt court on behalf of Afe Babanlaole. He said he is a member of Afe Babanlaole's chamber. He's suing Dele Farotimi for defamation. And then he also wants the LDPC, legal LPDC, legal practitioner disciplinary committee or something, to also remove Dele Farotimi's name from the names of from the register of legal practitioners in Nigeria. So that one is in Portharcourt. Another one is right there in Ibadan. He said he's also a member of Afe Babanlaole's chamber, suing Dele Farotimi in Ibadan for defamation. All right, that one never named his own price. He hasn't named his price. Then another one, this one on your screen, is suing Dele Farotimi, right, to a court in Ogun State. Ojodu, Abiodun, that is somewhere around Ojodu, Julius Baga in Lagos, Ojodu Baga in Lagos. His own name is Oludaramola San, who also claims to be a member of Afe Babanlaole's chamber. Oludaramola says he gives Dele Farotimi 7 days, right, to appear. Okay, let me even read that part. You are hereby commanded that within 7 days of this service of this writ on you, including the day of such service, you do cause an appearance to be entered for you in an action at the suit of the claimant, and that notice that in default of your so doing, the claimant may proceed herein, and judgment may be given in your absence. So this one give him 7 days, right? So in his own claim, he's got 6 prayers. Magbo, he said the claimant is a senior partner in Afe Babanlaole, a leading full service law firm renowned for providing world-class blah blah blah. The claimant joined the law firm of Afe Babanlaole & Co. in 1994. In 2008, the claimant was elevated to the rank of senior advocate of Nigeria. Now, these are supposed to be lawyers. Now, more reason now. That means, even though we are still waiting, okay, we have the Ogun State, we have the FCT, we have the Portharcourt, which will represent rivers. Okay, so we have the Ibadan court, which is going to represent Oyo State. How many states do you have in Nigeria again? 36. So plus Abuja 37. So they already have 7. Sorry, then we have Ekiti. So we have Ekiti, we have Ogun State, we have River State, we have Abuja, and then where else? I think then Oyo State. So out of 37 states, out of 36 states and FCT, they already instituted cases in 4, and then FCT making it 5. So we are waiting for 32 more states. Is that not a mockery? They are supposed to be lawyers. Is that not a mockery? You are suing one person for defamation in every court, and you are doing so from the same chamber. According to them, they are like, we are from the same chamber. So I hope they have up to 36 lawyers or 37, so that they can have 36 judges, right? 36 judges all over Nigeria that will then be hearing the same suit. Is that not abuse of your legal process in Nigeria? Afe Babanlaole himself is yet to sue. The main character in all of this whole game is yet to sue Dele Farotimi. But those who are supposed to be lawyers, the senior advocate of nuisance, those who knows the law, they are already, when they know that they've used the police to lock him up and a magistrate court judge to lock him up somewhere. So now they are like going to every court all over Nigeria to defend Afe Babanlaole. Is that not abuse of your court process? Now, so that they do harm. They said that your judiciary is a joke. A total joke. And it was made a joke, a corrupt judiciary, corrupted by Afe Babanlaole, and they are doing exactly the same thing. You are going everywhere. Is it that they don't believe in their own legal system, or they are just here to show to us how abused the judicial system in Nigeria is in truest sense of it? The Ronukus, who are as dumb as all these jokers, to them, Dele Farotimi would have to be going from one court to another. No, he doesn't have to go anywhere. All it's just to let all these judges, I mean, we are waiting for another 32 states so that it can make sense, okay? Like Lagos, Sokoto, Kaduna, Kano, Jigawa, Zamfara, Borno, Kebbi, all these places, they have to sue him to all these states as well. You know? So Oludaramola is also a rogue. But here is someone who says he is writing his own memoir. Because from what we have now gathered, right, they are not stopping at just going to court to abuse their own court process in Nigeria. Okay, they are not just doing that. They have started threatening Dele Farotimi's lawyers. Can you believe that? They are saying that those people defending Dele Farotimi, they must also be punished. Real threats, not just threats against them as defenders of or the defending counsel to Dele Farotimi. They are promising them physical attack, especially in Ekiti. They have started issuing threats to them. Then burn you well. Come to Ekiti. Come and defend him again. We'll wait for you. We'll wait for all of you. How dare you come here to defend him? How dare you come to, if you come to Ekiti, we would, Right now, it has gotten to that. So by the 19th or the 28th of this month, which is going to be this weekend, there is a chance that you are going to see the lawyers, senior advocate of Nigeria defending Dele Farotimi, all the lawyers, there is a chance that they are going to be physically attacked. So they pretend to have the upper hand, but they are actually a bunch of cowards. Because those who are real lawyers have said, man, this is becoming a joke now. Like, what the fuck, man? Is Afe Babanlaole even aware that they are doing all of this, or the old man is senile? Like, is it that stupid that is letting them use his name to do all of this? Or are these guys truly lawyers? I mean, are they real lawyers? Because no man, it don't make any sense anymore. Do you get that now? So it is like, it's like somebody suing you for a defamation, for example, okay? And they've taken you to court in front of a judge, and you're about to kind of put up a defense and fight that, and the same person just feel like, no, I'm going to go to Abuja again, sue you in Lagos, and then they say, I'm going to go to Abuja and sue you again for the same offense, for the same case. And then he's going to be like, okay, I'm going to go to Zamfara to sue you again. What do you think the judiciary would have done in that case? What do you think they would have probably called your lawyers and be like, what is this? What is all this nonsense? Yeah? And that in itself is enough for all of them to throw your case out. But those who have abused the judicial system in Nigeria for years, those who feel so slighted, and they have become so stupid enough that they do not really care. For them, they need to entertain all the morons that are listening to them, because they want to feel kind of, they want to feel, what is that? They want to feel like influential, powerful, sort of. And I think that's why they are making more mistakes. Or maybe it's not a mistake, it's just to further expose what a lot of you never really, what you didn't know until now. How could lawyers, who are supposed to be sons themselves, be making mockery of your judiciary like this? And you think it is a game? No, it is not. It is the rest of the world is watching, and the record is being kind of like, it's being recorded as we speak. Like, they are so scared of him that they do not even believe that any single court will be able to do what they want to do. People who are defending Dele Farotimi are pretty much not even like collecting money. You know what this is going to become later? It will now give Dele Farotimi the never seen before influence, in which they can hold him for as long as they want to, but it won't be like forever. So at the end of the day, Dele Farotimi will probably have to, when he speaks, do you know the millions of people that will listen? Do you know the millions of people that are currently following this stuff? Here is another person who says he is already planning to write his own memo. His name is Biodun Tubiyele or Tubiyele. I shared a post about corruption in the Nigerian judiciary, which I intend to reveal in my memo. A lawyer said that I want to destroy the judiciary and the legal profession. Why would I want to be a destroyer? I am turning 70 and 45 years at the Nigerian bar. If I cannot speak the truth now, then I have failed myself, my family, and the members of the honorable profession. Please, if you have something to say about corruption in the profession and in the judiciary, send your short contribution to me. Avoid mentioning names. You must mention your name. Join my memo WhatsApp group. Send your comment to me on WhatsApp and share this number. The corruption in Nigeria judiciary is as old as the judiciary itself. The lawyers that are currently jumping from one court to the other, issuing this threat of, we are going to give a judgment to, if you, Dele Farotimi, fail to show up, we are going to give a judgment to. They are corrupt lawyers. These are corrupt criminals, crooked lawyers, who somehow believes that Dele Farotimi's expose is never supposed to happen. They believe that, yes, we are corrupt. That is how we are all eating. That's how we are making our billions. It is not in your place to tell the world that we are corrupt. We know we are corrupt. And for you daring to actually tell the world that how corrupt we are, then we will show you how corrupt we are. Solomon Dalong is also a lawyer, by the way. The former sports minister under Buhari waded into this conversation. In his own opinion, listen.
What is your view on the Dele Farotimi case on the issue of defamation, libel against Afe Babanlaole?
I would have thought that my father, Afe Babanlaole, should have not taken this route. Because, I mean, he has exposed his legacies to public attack. And I don't see him surviving it. Because Dele is a reputable human rights activist. I mean, his profile is highly revered by most Nigerians. So they will never understand him with all his claim for defamation, for this, for that. If I were to advise him, I would have just called Dele and said, look, my son, and this is not the way to go. You will also get to where I am today. Despite what you would have known about me, I mean, this wasn't the better way to handle it. That was how I was mentored by Chief Lab. But you see, he had condescended into the arena, and it is him now and his family versus Nigerians. And I don't see him ending up.
What is your view on the Dele Farotimi?
Along. That is it. It is no longer about Dele and Afe Babanlaole. No. It is now Afe Babanlaole and the rest of Nigerians and the world. Whatever legacy he thought he had, now to millions of people, that is a trash. That's a legacy of corruption. And that's how we are going to drag him until he dies, until his death is announced. When he dies, you will see social media will celebrate his death in a way that in the worst mockery way, you will see it. Because now everybody knows his role, his contribution into the destruction of Nigeria through the judiciary. Now we know. Now we know that Dele Farotimi is only sharing a tiny bit of the Afe Babanlaole's crooked life, and then the life he lived or legacies we think he has. A lot of us now know, but not that we didn't know before now. We did know. It's just that we never had concrete evidence, documented evidence like this. Now we do. Now that Afe Babanlaole is now proving what is in that book, everything that Dele Farotimi said he did, now we believe he did it. We are watching all of his minions, all these crooked lawyers in a lawless country like Nigeria, who are helping to put further nails on his coffin. Yes, whatever legacy you think he has. It is like that of a Thiefnubu. Till Thiefnubu dies, his legacy of being a drug dealer, a certificate forger, election rigger, treasury looter, and a demented criminal will never, ever be erased. Thanks to social media. Whatever it is that Afe Babanlaole and his family believed that they had, whenever he dies, you will see it now. At least he is not going to live for another 5 years. That one I can tell you. He's already 95. Had another 5 years. Maybe he will turn to 100. After that, he will die soon. And when he dies, you watch social media. Everywhere now, if you put up Afe Babanlaole's picture anywhere online, go and read the comment under it. That is why all these criminal lawyers, I don't know what they intend to achieve. Okay? But here is something. The moment Dele Farotimi opens his mouth, all this nonsense, all these shenanigans, I can assure you, will die natural death. And that is why they would want him to be kept incommunicado. You can't keep him there forever. No, you can't. 13 days. Oh, okay. Every day that Dele Farotimi is locked up is a day that continues to validate his heroism. Is a day that gives more and more people the curiosity about how did Nigeria get to this stage and who are these people doing all of this every day. So you can go from all the courts all over Nigeria, Oludaramola and people like yourself, Olafaro, Kehinde, Okunwemiju, and that other lunatic from Ibadan. You can go from one court to another. You are proving Dele Farotimi right. And right now, you are the guilty ones. Don't you think they are the guilty ones? Dele Farotimi was supposed to look guilty, right? For writing a book. But look at those who are the guilty ones now. Dele Farotimi sued Afe Babanlaole for libel. They used the same corrupt judiciary to ensure that that case was never heard. So now you are suing him for libel, but you can't even face him. You can't confront him. You cannot face him in court. You have the police locked him up somewhere, denying him bail, so that you can be jumping from one court to the other. You are the guilty ones, not Dele. And to the Ronukus, the Ronu Nazis, the bastards, the bad idiots, your chain, you see this, your slavery chain, the chain there's a chance that you will never be free. You will never be free. But there's also a chance that the younger generation who are going to be liberated by the truth that they have kept away from some of you, that younger generation will never, ever take on this your slavery chains. Because as we all know, they say you will know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. They are destroying Nigeria, but they do not want people to challenge them, expose them, and therefore they can use all of the trick in the book to get you locked up as much as possible. But for how long? For how long? Let's go to something else. From the point of view, I mean, was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday that this Solomon Lalong, not Dalong, I think it's Dalong. I always mix them up. There's one called Lalong, which was the former governor of Plateau State. This one is Dalong. They are from the same place. He is the former minister of, I think he was a minister of sports under Bukwari the first time, and the second time he was removed. He said something yesterday about the cabals. Like, the cabals were real, and somehow they have a way of holding this guy said hostage. Like, according to him, they held Bukwari hostage for 8 solid years. But imagine this. So, I mean, on the one hand, right, you do not have to actually believe him, okay? But somehow, I want to kind of like believe him too, without exonerating Bukwari the murderer. You know, sometimes you'll be asking yourselves and say, do these guys actually know what people are going through in Nigeria? Like, did Bokwari know what you are going through in Nigeria around that time? Or it was being fed with lies, misleading information, so that those of you or those of us kind of like complaining or exposing them were seen as bad belly or something, right? But they were hiding something from them to make them feel like they are doing well. Thiefnubu believes that he is doing well. Yeah, believes. They are saying that he's laying foundation, even though he said, I know you are hungry. I know you are hungry. And all of that nonsense. But the thing is that, I'm going to replay the clip, okay? Then I'll come back and talk about it. Listen to this.
I am completely disappointed because, I mean, what we told Nigerians was not what had happened in 2015.
So it was a lie.
We lied. We should admit we lied.
To Nigerians.
To Nigerians.
We deceived Nigerians.
We deceived, even though we use people deceive people, the PDP, for campaign. But of course, we were a replica of what we were accusing the PDP of.
Or even worse.
Worse. Not even. Eliminate the word worse.
But Buhari was a catch, isn't it? People wanted the exit of PDP, thinking that Buhari was the Messiah at the time. But now there are those who will say Buhari was a disaster. Those who do not see that Buhari did anything good in that 8 years, we think that Buhari wasn't the best for Nigeria at the time. What happened?
Buhari was also used and done.
Who used him?
Buhari's charisma was needed at that point in time by the political elite to eliminate Jonathan. And shortly after Buhari had taken over power, these sets of political elites emerged and hijacked government. And Buhari was a stranger. I can say this at any point in time. Buhari was a stranger in his own government. And I can corroborate this because I went to see the president in 2020 when I was out of office. And I told him, Mr. President, this wasn't what we told Nigerians. And that I have conscience. We campaigned and convinced Nigerians. When I look at the type of investment the common people put in our government, and here we are today with insecurity. When we came in, it was only the Northeast. As at 2020, I told him, it was not possible to even travel from Abuja to Kaduna. And I dared him. I said, Mr. President, if you disbelieve what I'm saying, or what I was saying, please roll out brigade of gas now, and I join you. We drive from Abuja to Daura. And I promise him that if bandits do not attack him, I will go and die in exile. I briefed him about the security situation, about the hardship. And to be very fair to the president, he expressed surprise. Meaning, from my own judgment, some of the things I said were things he was hearing them for the first time. But I'm not surprised that such has happened. Because even when we were in government, it has happened. It was me who, even at the Federal Executive Council meeting, that informed him when a DSS and EFCC were trigger drawn in Asokoro here for 3 days. They held the entire environment hostage, and the president didn't know. It was everywhere on the press, print media.
But the president, the Buhari that we saw is usually with newspapers. We saw him reading the newspapers. Maybe they gave him a different newspaper.
Well, those who had such knowledge had actually claimed that his newspapers are different. But from this particular incident where the president was in Nigeria for 3 good days, and we went to the Federal Executive Council meeting, and I was expecting the issue to have been on the agenda, the first thing we will look at. And until we finished our meeting, it was not there. I had to introduce it through AOB. And the president was completely in confusion, listening to what I was saying. And at the end of the day, we even left without any closing prayer because he was visibly angry. And when he left, on my way to my office, I saw those two agencies under his office, directly under his office, holding a complete community hostage for 3 days because of whatever their interests they had, and the president didn't know. There was no security to his table. The national security advisor could not inform him. The so-called courtiers and veranda boys, none of them, thought it wise to save his image and integrity to inform him.
So there was an overtaking of the Buhari government under his watch. For
me, Buhari's hurricane, Buhari's integrity was needed. It was a political bite needed to eliminate Jonathan and his government. And immediately that was achieved. You could see why
when I saw that video, when I saw that interview, I was like, oh no, is it possible? Because I have had the conviction that these guys are mostly prisoners of their own self as well. Enough that, is it really possible? Then something told me that no. It's difficult for me to accept that because there is no way I'm going to accept that without me then somehow exonerating Bokwari. Here is my point. Bokwari granted interview. Few of his interviews, which I personally, or majority of us possibly also saw, one of them was when he kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu in December 2015. When he was being interviewed a year or so after, sometimes in 2016, Bokwari said that Nnamdi Kanu was planning to break up Nigeria by bringing in broadcasting equipment for Biafra radio. And it will never let that happen. Then the second time that Bokwari also granted an interview, then it was after the 2019 charade, when he called eastern part of Nigeria dot in a circle. It was very, very specific. It was angry, visibly angry. In fact, it was actually like 3 videos. The first one, then the second one was when he said the Igbos are dot in a circle. And if the parent of these Biafrans did not tell them what happened, Bokwari will speak to them in the language they will understand, because they are just dotting a circle. And dotting a circle means you can clean it up, which means you can wipe off the entire Igbo race in Nigeria. He was very much aware. He's aware. The militarization, the murder, the killings of the people in Igbo land, he was aware. That, the idea of them kind of giving him a different newspaper, even though it's like saying they will give Thiefnubu Punch newspaper, but everything printed inside the Punch newspaper is not actually what is obtainable around that time. Here you get, it's like me holding a newspaper, today's newspaper, but the content of that newspaper is doctored. Is doctored by some certain people in his government, while the original copy of the newspaper that all of you have around the country is different from what Bokwari was holding. So it is a little bit dodgy for me to accept, and not coming, especially coming from this guy who is also pretty much like a failed minister himself. How many of you remember him when he used to dress like this clown? He was supposed to be a sport minister, but almost. So when he said he spoke to Bukwari, and Bukwari was so surprised about what he was saying, because I remember he was dropped. Yeah, they dropped him during the Bukwari second term. He was dropped, and that pained him so much. So he's talking about the cabals in assholerock. They have this cunning way, and their job, their job is most of the time to make the guy who hired them look innocent. Even when they carried out all these heinous crimes in his name, they can always come out and say he didn't know anything about it. It was done by some other people, or it was hidden away from him. Bukwari was so evil. He was such an evil man. And I'm not joking. In case if you have memory loss, or you are suffering from the Stockholm syndrome, which is the normal sickness of Nigerians, by the way, Stockholm syndrome. I'm not suffering from it. Bukwari was so evil, right? That signing off on the killings of Nigerians was like a pastime for him. Making people disappear was a pastime for him. That couldn't have been done in his name without him being aware. So that is where I'm having problem with what Dalong said. He's saying similar things now around the Thiefnubu. Like there are some people around Thiefnubu right now who are doing the same thing. Because they are making him feel like, he's loved. Nigerians love him. I mean, like something like that. Like he is not aware of how much what his policies are doing to you. It's the cabal, the world, the world around cabals, the cabals, people around them, they are hiding the truth from them. It's so difficult for somebody like me to believe, but I kind of like you to tell me what you feel. Here is another part of what he said, including what he said about the El Rufaya, how they deceived him. How did they deceive him? How did they deceive El Rufaya? El Rufaya and his gang, they were working against Thiefnubu. Aisha, Ashishe Bokwari Aisha, which we call the Ashishe Bokwari, right? She was paid, allegedly, make I use allegedly now. He was paid $10 million to change her mind in supporting Thiefnubu, and then in convincing her husband at the last minute to also soft pedal, despite the fact that the whole plot to stop Thiefnubu was hatched inside the assholerock, and El Rufaya was part of that. Can you believe that? All this change of money. Because today they believe that Thiefnubu and everyone known with Thiefnubu, they have stockpiled money for 2023 elections. And the only way to stop Thiefnubu, number one, is what? Is to ensure that, what do you call it? The Naira is at force, right? It was to make sure that the Oshiomole, as the party chairman, was removed so that Thiefnubu wouldn't have any easy ride. Unfortunately for them, it's like Thiefnubu already sort of like peed around them like this, like a lion peed around his own prey. They didn't know how deep the entire system around them has been so compromised. They didn't know. But it was the El Rufaya, Yeye Bello, and few others who were, then Malamu. I wonder why Thiefnubu has not even arrested Malamu yet, because he was also in on it. Right? So they were the guys who came about with this idea. They recruited Emefiole, and they said, you know what? Let's change the money. If we change the money, we can make all this money they've stockpiled for the election useless. So last minute, something changed. I don't know. El Rufaya and their gang, right? They suddenly started loving Thiefnubu. They took, imagine you had a meeting where El Rufaya, Yeye Bello, Bokwari, Malamu, and Emefiole, and others, you met and you strategized and said, this is how we're going to stop him. We have to change money. We have to do this, we have to do that. Then, 2 months to election. To the point that Bokwari only attended Thiefnubu's presidential campaign. Just once, a bit twice. It was almost like dragged to attend. It was almost dragged to attend Thiefnubu's campaign. He stayed away. So last minute, then they decided to sue the central bank that you can't change money. You cannot change the money anymore. Leave the money like that. That wasn't a deceit. So yeah, maybe somehow, Thiefnubu appointed him as a ministerial nominee only for the Akpabiole and co to reject him. So that won't be Thiefnubu's doing. It will just be like the Senate didn't want him. Blah, 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 blah. But this guy said he feels sorry for him because he was lured out and then they come Nakamakpako talking about the cabals in the assholerock. Listen to this one.
The so-called cabals really existed.
No, cabal exists in Nigerian presidency till today.
Really? It's still under Thiefnubu government?
No. Thiefnubu has even the most sophisticated cabal.
Really?
Worse than Buhari. Buhari's cabal was a group of uninformed people with little experiences. That was why they were dipping hand in everything that was available. But Thiefnubu's cabal is a sophisticated group of people who had been long in power. And they know power. They are also informed. So they are more dangerous than any other cabal that I have ever known and seen.
So there is cabal in Thiefnubu's government, and we need to fear them more because, according to you, they are more dangerous.
They are more dangerous because they are more sophisticated.
Who are these cabals?
Well, they are the gatekeepers of the president. They are found very close within the circumference of power.
And usually they don't allow governance to flow. Is that what happens?
Yeah. They shield the president. They shield the president from the obvious reality, and they don't allow information to assess the president. And I still corroborate this with what happened during Buhari. There was a time somebody went to see the president to brief him about the situation in the country. And one of the courtiers asked him, what will you be telling the president? He narrated it and he told him, look, my friend, we can't allow you to tell president that thing. What if he collapsed? And so the man was prevented from telling the president. So you can have, a cabal is a group of ambitious people who were also appointed by the same president to help him govern, but they will run his presidency at their own expense and interest. So it happened. Forrest, one of them stole something and the rest are putting him on trial. So he's complaining, we're all robbers, so why will you try me for robbery, for stealing? That's what is happening with Yabelo. But for El-Rufai, I expected him to have been smarter politically than what happened to him. When he concluded his tenure, towards the end of his tenure, he made up his mind not to hold any public office. But Thiefnubu went to Kaduna at an economic summit and lured him. And El-Rufai knew that he is smarter than almost every other person. He knew himself well. He knew even his intrigues. He knew his controversial disposition. So he couldn't have given into that because he was lured into so that he can be humiliated the way he did. And if I were in his shoes, even if today even Angel Gabriel is accompanying Thiefnubu to pacify me to serve in his government, I will not. You know why? If I dare make that mistake, they will nominate me, and then when they go to the National Assembly, they will raise security reports and declare me a terrorist. And that will be over. So El-Rufai made the greatest respect for the mistake which intelligent people shouldn't have done. He should have remained with his decision. And today, he could have had more strength to be able to fight this government.
Well, we understand that he's playing some roles and there's some alignment and alliance with the SDP. Are you aware?
Yeah. But he's somebody they should watch out for because he has the capacity to mobilize people. And having learned his lesson, he will rather, if Atiku is not careful, El-Rufai will emerge as a political godfather for the North in 2027, because he's not going to talk for himself, but he will galvanize that support to make sure that, I mean, he gets his pound of flesh from this government.
Interesting, isn't it? Yeah. You do not have to take, or we don't have to take everything he said, right? Hook, line, and sinker, but there is always some iota of a truth in what somebody like that have to say, because it's been inside. It's been part and parcel of those who schemed and put together the fraud that they called change in 2015. Was one of the surprised ministerial appointees that thought he was one of these days was going to be the governor of Plateau State. But eventually, they played in politics too. Yeah, they did play in politics too. So yes, El-Rufai is a snake. For those who know El-Rufai very well, let me give you a bit of a background of him. Kaduna Littlefinger, El-Rufai, was brought into government by Atiku. In 2000, when Obasanjo gave Atiku the free hand to run things, and Obasanjo was junketing all over the world, begging for debt forgiveness, right? And Atiku was very powerful, right? So they created a department called the Bureau of Public Enterprise, BPE. And the first person to head that was El-Rufai. He was supposed to be loyal to Atiku. When Atiku's fight, it was also El-Rufai. Sorry, it was also Atiku that suggested or brought in Ribadol as the EFCC chair. So when Obasanjo and Atiku's fight started, El-Rufai quickly switched side to the side of Obasanjo, the Obayeje Olusegun. Now, he was compensated. He became a minister of FCT during the second term of Obasanjo. That gave him some level of power, which he used to the fullest to his own advantage. Then when Obasanjo went for Yaradua, the likes of El-Rufai automatically dumped Obasanjo. But because he's a snake, I don't know what went wrong. Yaradua wanted him jailed. He ran away from Nigeria. Like Ribadu. They ran away from Nigeria. He went on, I think he went to Oxford, to go and do 1 year course, sometimes then, until the death of Yaradua. When Yaradua died, El-Rufai returned back to Nigeria. And guess what? He became the ardent critic of Egbere Jolantan. So when it was time for them to form APC, he hurriedly he hurriedly, joined Bokwari's side, which indeed also worked for him, and he became the governor of Kaduna during that change time. And immediately after he became governor of Kaduna, he also dumped Bokwari. It was around the time that it was felt as if like Bokwari was like too tired and too sickly, that they were trying to carry out what was called the palace coup, but it was too much for them to do. So he ended up just being on his own. Now, El-Rufai, which also lost favor on the side of Thiefnubu as it is today. So the history of El-Rufai like from the start till now, is history of you know, like it's like this 48 loss of power, right? It is the history of betrayal, backstabbing, you know, overtaking and stuff like that. And somebody like that is a snake. If you dare not cut off the head, it will always come back to wreak havoc. Always. So I don't know how he's going to probably play this out, but I have been told, I have heard that Atiku, El Rufaya, Peter Obi, and a few others like that, like Shekara and others like that, they are meeting to form a coalition that is going to be something of a revenge, like they did in 2015 against Egbere Jolantan, right? So it's going to be like a revenge of, you know, especially after being humiliated by Thiefnubu. Others are saying, well, let's not forget, Thiefnubu is not Jonathan. So don't ever forget that. So whatever it is going to play out as right, that body go just surplus. That body must surplus in last. Whatever that played out. Anyway, talking about political betrayal. You see, you remember this guy who was the Labour Party governorship candidate for Bayelsa. Was it Bayelsa? Yeah, Bayelsa. I can't remember his name. I'll show you. Now the news is that the guy has now left Labour Party because of what people did to him. His experience is not palatable. People deceived him, people pretty much like scammed him. And despite the fact that he felt people have suffered so much under the PDP, especially in that his own state, he was shocked that people could, you know. So he was talking to Akpati earlier. And in his words, you could see the disappointment of you trying to say you want to save the people. I'm a former youth leader, a joy youth leader, this and that. You get what I mean? His experience. Let me play it for you.
Uncle Apati, to put it lightly, they show me Pepe. On both sides. On the side of the people and on the side of the party. First, let me say the people, because every time you hear that Nigerians are suffering, oh, we want to die. Once you bring money, Nigerians will forget that suffering. I was fooled. I thought that Bayelsans and Nigerians were ready. And I did everything possible. And I told them clearly, look, I don't have money. If it is money they're looking for, I don't have it. But I have the capacity to change the society, to change things around. Work with me. When he reach election, Uncle Abati, even my agents, they will call me and say, okay, sorry, we won't pay house rent, so we don't take the money. It is so bad. Then on the part of the party, transactional. The party is just a transactional instrument. People just put themselves together and then come and see what they can get from the system. And when I mean the system, either the ruling party or those who have deep pockets to spend. I told them clearly, I'm not here. I'm an engineer who have raised money by myself because I felt that having gone through university, being president of engineering students in University of Benin, coming out to be IYC Secretary General, later IYC President, and then going to be Commissioner for Youth, and then Commissioner for Environment, then also essay on youth to the NDDC. I had seen it. I had seen the thin line between failure and performance. And I believe that I could do this job. And the only thing to do is that instead of sitting down to be complaining, as a lot of people do, take action. I'm a man who likes taking action. I started the journey. The pitfalls and hurdles started in the party. They come and tell you integrity, capacity, what do they other call the other one? When the chips are down, you don't see any of these qualities. And don't forget, I was in the Labour Party way back in 2011. I contested House of Reps in Labour Party. I know what they did to me. They thought I would be this young boy with just the command. I just believe that, look, this thing, I can do it. And anything I put my mind to, I pursue it. I saw the gimmicks. I didn't go to Labour Party because of the Obi mantra, no. I wanted a party that we had used to campaign before. Because when you are talking to community people, what they want to hear, Papa, Mama, Pikin. That Labour Party in 2011, we used it to campaign. So if I bring in a new party, the job will be difficult. Why not go to a platform where you can easily communicate to the people? And that was why I took the decision to go with the Labour Party. Then the general elections came and Obi mantra came. Of course, I will benefit. Having supported and put money in the party, I should be able to benefit from it. Unfortunately, the legal system and the INEC, the judiciary and the INEC, killed the morale in Nigerians. And that's what affected people like us in the election who did not have the deep pocket to throw money around. So I have seen, I was betrayed. Look, Uncle Abati, if you see the layers set for you in the party, you'll be shocked. Even your agents, that document, that code that INEC gives to your party, they will sell it to your opponent. So before you know it, the opposing party have uploaded agents on your behalf. By the time you are trying to upload, it's not working. Like what happened in Edo State where APC couldn't get their agents uploaded. All those are tricks that they pay money and then transactionally they put you on the defensive. I went through a lot, and I have decided that as a young man who has energies to contribute to society, I want to dissipate it in public space. I don't have time for people who are not serious. The Labour Party itself, by now, should have had a northern chairman because we did very poorly in the north. It is only expected that you look at your weak points and strengthen them so that when you are going to the next election, you are prepared, you have done your homework.
Okay.
These guys are not ready. They just went into a small room and started juggling the offices.
All right.
I don't have time for that.
It was like my own experience when I felt like it shouldn't be us just talking and talking. You know what I mean? That we should take action. Remember when I said, when people come onto this program, on this platform, and they will say, hey, what is the way forward? Let us, we are just talking. I was like, no, I've been there. I have done that. A few years back, that's like 5 years ago or 6 years ago, I felt like the reasons why the people seem to be falling victims of the big political parties in Nigeria is because they didn't have the chance to mobilize themselves under a smaller party and begin to do small things in a big way. Begin to do big things in a small way. So we mobilized, we raised funds, we got people registered in order for them to join, to run for office or offices. But at the end of the day, it was all transactional for them. It's about who wants what, who gets what. Those who are supposed to be your party members, they are not your party executives. They don't believe in your party. They don't believe in all these things you are saying. In fact, most of them are positioning themselves for the bigger parties, APC and PDP. They are positioning themselves so that once they bring the money for them, they can sell you off. That's exactly what I experienced. I didn't run for office, but I encouraged people to run for offices. And I bet you it was horrible, man. Here you get. That's the moment I knew then that Nigerians cannot be helped. They love their oppressors. They love the oppression because they believe that one day is going to be their own turn. You'll be so foolish. Honestly, you'll be so foolish to join any of their political charade. And when people were coming for those of you who are the obedient last year, I said, no, they should leave you. No, don't attack them. I deliberately discouraged people on Mayegun's Diary Political to attack or criticize the obedient. I said, no, they needed the experience. Let them go and have that experience. that they are so sure that some of you were calling onto my program here, telling me that, if they rig this election, Nigeria will break. Nigeria will explode. I said, really? Yes, I'm telling you, you don't understand. People are, I said, okay, tell me more. Okay, yeah. If they try to rig this election, this 2023, Nigeria will explode. I said, really? Okay, go on. Forgetting the fact that those who are really going to rig are not the only PDP, APC. The people inside your political party will sell you off, and they will sell you off in parts. It will be like that they sell the part of a cow. You know, when you butcher a cow, when you kill a cow, then you begin to butcher the parts like that. Now so they will sell you now off. You will begin now from inside. You go there. You go there, breathe like person they say like. Even though I won't lie to you, the obedience really did beyond my own ever expectation. I won't lie. But when some of you were coming on here and telling me that if they rig the election, it will cause problems, I said, really? Are you sure? Yes, Mayegun, you will see. This movement, this can you come movement, can you come movement, Abi? Now, people inside, majority of them from the local government level, from the ward level to the local government level to the state, they are the real saboteurs. They are going to work with people who pay them, and they will drop a day before election. Those people who were supposed to be our party agent in 2019, they were the party agent. Party agency. Instead, because we couldn't pay them the party agent money. Here you get now. We have a 236 wards in Ogun State. So we're supposed to pay 5,000 naira to 236. No, sorry. We're supposed to pay 50,000 naira. Can you believe that? Our own party agent, they were taxing us for money. We printed the party agent tag that they will put on their neck, right? To go and monitor our vote on the day of election. The night of election, we're supposed to share 57 million. Yeah, that's how much we're supposed to share. 57 million. We're supposed to give some INEC officials some money. And our own party agents, we're supposed to pay them half of the 50,000, I think 25,000 naira. Like, why do we have to pay you? You have to pay us. But they threw our tag, just flung our tags to us. On the day of election, now our own party ward chairman, now them they mobilize people for APC, PDP, party chairman, party executive. What's really? Our party members, they are seeing other party executive at the polling station, the polling unit. They said that, are you here to vote for us? I can't waste my vote. I cannot waste my vote. People are being given 1,005, 1,000 naira, and you want me to come and vote for free? Sorry, I can't waste my vote. So I bet that is what that man witnessed in Bayelsa. Do you get that now? So the people are also the enablers of all this stuff. Nigerians cannot be saved, not via election. They are too poor. Too poor. Majority of them are just too poor, okay, to be saved or to vote right. So the rest of you who probably think voting can do it is because you are naive. You are naive. Because the thing is that people are just too poor to vote right. And that is why the criminal politicians in Nigeria, even though they are rigging elections, okay, but there are people who are already unwilling to validate that rigging in Nigeria. I've seen it many times, you know. But we will leave that. Here was Oshiomole talking about the extortion by the electricity companies that are selling you darkness. What you are paying for in Nigeria is paying for darkness. You are not paying for electricity in Nigeria. Are you? At least they pretended to care. And they're raising it in their supposed National Assembly. Listen to this.
Supported against the wish of my colleagues the idea of privatizing electricity. My main argument then was that the beauty of capitalism and of private ownership is that in seeking to make profit, they will render a service. But the danger of public ownership is that whether they render a service or not, they draw on the taxpayer treasury in the name of correcting what is there. I could never have imagined, as it is today, that a private person will collect money for services he did not render. And the Nigerian people are helpless. Even we here as privileged class have had to buy the transformer that I use here in the heart of Abuja. And to install it, I have to persuade, negotiate, and even effect payment to Abuja distribution, whatever, to connect the transformer I have procured personally with my resources. And hereafter, this transformer becomes the property of the disco. And every month, I am asked to pay bill on brand A or whatever.
Under your transformer.
Like you said, sir, every state governors, or most, spend public funds, buy transformers for communities. And then you still have to contribute money. Many of us, very soon, when we go back to the electorate, they are going to tell us that for 1 year, for 2 years, they've had no light. What is the problem? No transformer. And then they ask you a senator to go out and buy the transformer. You look for the money, you buy the transformer. And then they say, NEPA says you have to pay for them to connect the transformer to their grid. If cables are faulty, you buy the cable for them to install it. Even right now, I have requests from several communities asking me to buy the transformer and to get them connected. And yet, sir, the key element in distribution is transformer and cables, among others. So if these ones are now being procured by state government using public funds and individuals using their personal resources, what is the cost that these discos are incurring? Now, worse, the money they claim to have paid, because the logic of privatization was to inject private capital into these services. In truth, they went to borrow from Nigeria depositor funds in various banks, thereby killing some of those banks who have now become the liability of AMCON, which itself is also a contradiction about the logic of free market. And what they have borrowed, Mr. President, since the privatization took place, what they have borrowed through CBN and other sources is 10 times more than the amount they claim to have paid to become owners of those discos. Lastly, sir, as things stand, discos own no more than 60%, quote, own. So it is arguable where the total money you have borrowed from public sources is more than your private capital, whether you can still claim to be privately owned. 40%, as we speak, still belong to the federal government. But sir, there are no governing councils. There is no governing board for this discourse. So federal government owns 60% of a business and it has no say in the board of those companies. So there is no corporate governance. The one of Edo is owned by a pharmacist. The wife is a banker. The pharmacy becomes the chairman. The banker becomes the MD. They mismanage Edo economy, Delta economy, Ondo economy, Ekiti economy, and we are down right now in crisis. Even I, sir, that I don't live in Benin, my bill every month, I can't even afford it. So, Mr. President, I support the motion by my very good friend who lost an earlier motion, thanks to the vigilance of Mr. Senate President and your commitment to protect the poor. But this motion can benefit from a radical review, including the option of revoking the ill-conceived, ill-executed privatization and revisit it in line with the renewed agenda of Mr. President, that no one shall pay for services to a private Nigerian who did not render that service. We are going to a petrol station to buy fuel without a pump. And the person selling the fuel tells us this is the amount of liter I have injected. You are not means to verify it. May your leadership, sir, or common as it is, be the one that gives us the political will to revisit and protect Nigerians, rich or poor, who have been victimized by the fake new owners of this discourse. Thank you, Mr. President.
Well guided. In fact, I have to be very honest with you. The president's reform in this country will go to naught unless we take a critical look at what is going on in the...
I mean, they can pretend to care. It just practically lay to bear the everyday fraud that they are perpetuating against you in that country. That should be their normal job, though, right? Where it was said that the power sector is deregularized. You have the you have the GenCos and you have the DISCOs. So the supposed DISCOs are the distribution companies who are meant to bring the electricity to your homes, to your businesses. And in most cases, if not all cases, they will ask you to go and buy transformers. You will pay them. When you buy those transformers, it is not your property. It is their own property. And then you pay for darkness. When they don't give you the electricity, they still bill you. And they still bill the government as well, because it was like the government have to pay the GenCos. Okay, they have to pay them. I mean, it's all shrouded in this too much secrecy and fraud that at the end of the day, like Oshiomole put it, people who have no business in power sector have been given the contract. They have been sold this stuff, right? And they themselves are just like making some blood cold money from it. Yeah, money from it without delivering. But if these National Assembly guys are doing their job for real, a lot of people are supposed to actually be in jail, including themselves, right? I'm talking about jail. Earlier today, the EFCC, right, broke the news of them arresting over 700 cryptocurrency fraudsters in Lagos. 775. Like full-time job. I don't even understand what that means, by the way, right? But the fact that you have the Filipinos, you have the Chinese, you have Nigerians operating in Lagos alone, over 700. Something is fishy. I bet those who are into cryptocurrencies will probably say they are not criminals, but maybe you help me. Have you seen this?
EFCC on the 10th of December 2024 carried out an operation in Lagos, which smashed a deadly syndicate of cryptocurrency investment fraud and commercial, arresting 792 suspects during that operation. And I said earlier, what set out this operation apart from others, the fact that it needed the single largest arrest of several crime suspects in one exercise. The suspects were apprehended in a surprise operation at their hideout and imposing several-story edifice known as Big Roof Building, located at number 7 with July Street, Victoria Island, Lagos. The breakthrough in terms of the operation followed actionable intelligence and months of surveillance and monitoring of the activities of the syndicate by the Commission. Among those arrested were 140 Chinese nationals, 40 Filipinos, 2 Kazakhstans, 1 Pakistani, and 1 Indonesian. Investigation established that the foreign nationals used that facility during and talking about Festival and is available at number 7 of the Land Ministry, which anybody can mistake for the corporate headquarters of the financial institution. They use that building to train young Nigerians in the art of initiating romance and investment scam. And also, they use the identity of these Nigerians to perpetrate criminal activities. Indeed, all the floors in that building, 7-story building, all the floors are equipped with computers and other state-of-the-art gadgets. On the 5th floor of that building alone, we were able to recover 500 SIM cards of various local telcos. These were procured by these foreigners and given to Nigerians to use in cyber type of activity. The Nigerian accomplices were recruited by the foreign states to prospect for victims online through phishing, targeting mostly Americans, Canadians, Mexicans, and several others from European countries. They are multinational, you have Nigerians among them, you have Chinese, you have Pakistanis, Indonesian, Pakistan, among the suspects. You have 40 people, like I said. This is the interior of that building. You have workstations, there's some of you that are not thinking about this was these are not Chinese and pure Nigerians. So this is just one of the floors. There are 7 floors on that area. You can see the workstation. These are what they give to the youngsters. Once you are able to demonstrate that you are good in computing and type fast, sign one of these workstations and also give you a mobile device to send important messages to details. These are SIM cards that we found during that operation. And then in that building, we have our own power source, high quality matters that are stored there, never is not disrupted, and they also have standards of record. So 247 have access to power. These are the interior of the building. You have all these systems, all of them are pre-verificated in all the floors. Now, can we get a picture of the building itself? These are those materials. This is the building itself. 7 in July this is in Three Islands. All of us in Three Islands in another area of Lagos. That's this thing, and you never imagine that this is the kind of activity that happens there. The entire building was occupied by these Chinese and Filipinos using Nigerians to communicate. And not give credit to the EFCC because we were able to discover through intelligence and work with the intelligence. That's why we're looking forward to see all the suspects that we have. All of them have been identified successfully and charged with the charge. EFCC.
$775 of them arrested by the EFCC. They are into different kind of, fraud, cyber crime, cyber hacking, and all of that. Domiciled in Lagos. We're talking about Lagos, right? Here, it's Tokumbo, again, doing the night duty against those that have continued to sort of deface Lagos by building shanties, illegal structures, street trading, and name it. Had a visit from their commissioner of environment, a big commissioner for environment, Tokumbo Wahab, last night in Lagos.
We are not wasting time. Do what we want to do and let's leave. Pack everything and let's move. Who is that man? Arrest that man going. Alpha.
Wahala everywhere. Wahala everywhere. Ogunlaye and all that. Similarly, some guys who were said to, because of weather, right? It's like flying to Sokoto, but because of weather situation or weather conditions, they had to like diverted the call to Asaba. And these exchanges, took place mid-year.
Why did some airlines landed in Kano? This is what I wanted to know. You can't land in Kano, but some more than 5 airlines landed in Kano. This is what I want to know. That's the reason I said it's your fault. Sir, please. That's the reason I said it's your fault. This is our fault? Yes. Okay, this is all aviation matter, okay? So please, this is the minimum visibility. I do not control it, okay? I'm for the responsible for it. Then why hold on? Yeah, you can't control it. But what I want to know is it that you don't know your work, your job, that some pilot landed in Kano, you can land in Kano? That's what I wanted to know. No, because you're risking the life of 300 people here. Because some pilot landed in Kano, but you can't land in Kano. Yes, that's what I want to know. Yes, sir. Manager, Nasiru matsalar shi ce wannan. Wallahi matsalar Nasiru ne. Matsalar Nasiru ne. Wallahi matsalar shi ce shi ya fita ya kama gaban shi ya bamu da matsalar da muke ciki. Dan mu try mu resolve matsalar. Wannan ihun ba zai kai mu ko ina ba. Let's talk the truth. Kowane jirgi daban ne. Wani wannan ya ce shi ba zai iya ba. Yanzu muna shiga aka fara turbulence kowa ihu zai yi. In kana son ka sauka da tuntuni na ka faɗa sauke ka. Ana ce an shiga turbulence kowa zaka ji ya ce Jesus ya ce Allah. Mun shiga jirgi haka. Tun muna Allah kuma Yesu.
I can't feel my life.
When a plane does not fly, it is by your right as a pilot.
Amma ba duka jirgi iri ɗaya ba, kowane jirgi daban, kowane technology daban ne. Kowane technology. Let's be realistic. Sai a sauke mu. Ta yi mun yi maganar tintin a sauke ma sauke an ƙi. Babu reasonable way da ake magana tun ɗazu for more than 6 hours way da ake magana. Kuma yan Nigerian government ai saboda we be patient ba mu san me problem din da muke ciki ba. Wanda ma yake ce me yasa manager iya fito ba. Muna nan na su da
Ṣé wàhálà no too much so? Wahala everywhere, wahala. Even in Abuja, right? I don't see why everyone is angry with the pilot. If they are told that they couldn't land in Kano, that they have to go and land somewhere else, what really matters is that you land safely. That's what that matters. I understand the frustration as well, right? But you can't really blame the pilot, okay? Because this local government chairman in Abuja probably forgotten that Wike is the appointed governor of Abuja. So he went on stage where Wike is used to being praised by other people. This Abuja chairman, local government chairman, went on stage to complain that he had no money to buy a car for his operation or something. And so Wike took it personal. Wala everywhere. Wala, left, right, and center.
I was in Mabuchi recently. Sir, you will not believe this. That most of our police divisions have no vehicles at all. They have written severally to my office and said, I do not have the capacity to buy vehicles for you. But thank God our minister is here. And he has been doing it, and by the grace of God, he will do more.
I find it very disturbing that a chairman of a council will appear in the public and say he has no capacity to give vehicle to security agencies. I find it very embarrassing. And then you answer the chief security of your local government. to be a city chairman. But every time you go and collect revenue, where is the money going to? It's very, very embarrassing to hear you say you cannot buy a police station, one vehicle. Security for all of us. You have a role to play as the chairman of the council. I was chairman of council. I built police stations. I bought vehicles for them. I provided water for them. You are not only, in fact, security is the key. So if you have no capacity, then what are you doing there? Thank God you have told us you have no capacity. We'll see what will happen next time election. You are the one who says so, I'm not the one who says so. And luckily, this is a live coverage, so you can't deny what you said.
I was in...
Like I said, voila everywhere. Left, right, center. When you turn left, when you turn right, everywhere, wahala. In that wahala contraption, Nigeria. But here is an appeal to those who kidnapped the Reverend Archbishop, I think it's called the Archbishop Godwin Opala, in eastern part of Nigeria, from Osita Chidoka, appealing to all of you, release him. He's 75-year-old retired servant of God, an Archbishop.
Bishop, because for everything you believe in, release him. Release him because it is the major form of Mebu oppression for you to take a 75-year-old man just for the money you will collect. When Igbo boys are all over the country struggling for a life's meal, struggling to make ends meet, trading under harsh conditions, yet you decide that what you will do to make yourself viable is to kidnap our own people. When we decide that the only way is to deny others of their freedom. So Bishop Opala, Archbishop Opala, a respected Archbishop, retired at 75, I plead you in the name of God. In everything you believe in as an Igbo man, this is not the behavior of Igbo. Because you release him.
And finally, Ademola Lookman has been named the African Best Player of the Year, in which he was in the presence of his own parents, Ademola Lookman, Iya Lookman, Ati Lookman. Somebody posted that on Twitter earlier. So let me take you to the Confederation of African Football, CAF, awarded him the African Best. He missed it the last time, not this time. So congratulations to him, Ademola Lookman, the new African Best.
Looking sweet, bro. Let's do this. Omo Niger.
Ade Bobo. I better go there, alright. Collect your trophy there, alright.
Be alright.
Be alright.
African Best. What a great year. We are proud of you. Nigeria is proud of you. Can you say hi to Live Score? I'm working in Live Score today.
Live Score. Hello, how are you doing? How are you guys doing? You alright?
Yeah, African Best.
I want to say a few words in my language. Ekale, Nigeria, Monki Boboyi, Eshe, Modupe. Firstly, I want to thank Almighty God for everything that He's been doing in my life and everything He's been blessing me with. I want to thank the presidents. I want to thank all my teammates, club and country. I want to thank them for their support and the love that they give me. This award today is a blessing to me, to my family, to my nation, and to be recognized as the best player in Africa. It's something incredible, and I'm extremely proud of. Just over 4 years ago, I failed in front of the world, and fast forward 4 years, I'm the best player in Africa. I want to say to all the young children and people watching this, don't let your failures weigh you down, that they break your wings. But in fact, turn your pain into your power and continue to fly. God bless.
I don't want to sit here and reveal all my strategy. I am the first speaker among the three of us running. So they will spy on me. So you will have a limited answer here today. Another day you can bring me back. But that's part of what I do.
That's part of what I have to say. Congratulations, Demola, Lukman, the African best. And congratulations to us, the members of the Temple of Truth, for another interesting night. The other part of the supposed chat tonight would have been the news of the New Deal, $5 billion investment from a Shell corporation or so in discovering, it's called the Bonga North deep sea or deep water, where they are investing about $5 billion to drill oil, which when they finish, right, they will be extracting about 110,000 barrels of crude oil every day from that spot. In a year, they expect to be extracting or exploring 300 million barrels of crude oil yearly. So congratulations to you there, if it is for any reason, because the inflation in Nigeria has also risen again, which simply means that whatever it is that you are witnessing right now in that contraption, it is just, it's not abating, it's not slowing down. There is a rumor that the NNPCL are now planning to reduce the price of petroleum, which according to them is still going to be a bit over 1,000 naira. So there's still no reprieve or any succor in sight. So, but on that note, we are going to wrap it up this evening. I am going to take a short break. I think we should take calls, right? Yeah, let's take calls. So I am going to be back in a minute or two. But listen, if you have to go, remember to like the broadcast on your way out, if you haven't done that already. But if you are still with us, that you want to add your own voice to this conversation this evening, remember what we've discussed already, right? The number to call is on your screen. It is a WhatsApp call only. I will be back, and then we can have a chat. Thank you. And then to my friends who have been buying me coffee, including my super chatters. Let me say hello to my super chatters, okay? So YouTube came today and said I could set a goal of, whatever it is that you could give me super chats on the program this evening. So I did set one, but I didn't meet any. But I appreciate every one of you who chipped in there 1 or 2 penny there. Starting with Igbalode, thank you so much for yours. Azan Hosseini, God bless you, sir. Ade Tokunbo, Awosonya, God bless all of you for your generosity. And then I have, okay, if you have also bought me a cup of coffee, thank you to you as well. God bless your wallet. I'm going to be back in a minute, okay? And we can have a chat on the phone.
You get it?
Okay.
If you don't get it, forget about it.
Oṣó ni, àjẹ́ ni, ẹlẹ́bọlóògùn ni, amániṣẹ́ni ni, afàìmọ́niṣẹ́ni ni, wọ́n á fi yín sílẹ̀.
Amen. Thank you so much, everyone. And then welcome back to the phone-in segment of this broadcast. I have the first caller this night. And I want to believe that's Prince Jejeman, the Prince Jejeman, representing
IPOB for life.
That is him. How are you doing, Baba?
Baba, I do respect, Baba.
The Prince.
Well done. Oh, you are doing great.
Thank you.
We feel you always.
Thank you. And I miss you, by the way. It's been a while I heard from you, all of us.
And that's so, Baba. I've been all running up and down. We are cooking something. Very soon, I go dead done. We go know how it be, Sha.
Oh, wahala. Thank you so much for calling me again. Please.
Yeah, thank you, Baba. Yeah, it's a nice one today again. Baba.
Yes, sir.
Why I called first of all, greetings to all the members of Truth. Yeah. Baba, you see, my annoyance of this I think about this cover up about Buhari. That's the reason why I called. This man you discussing about. You know, at a point you post and you were like, these people, how you go do this thing where you go exonerate Buhari?
You get like there's no way one person go want to agree with that guy and he will end up trying to kind of like defend this book. I get it, you know. But yeah, it's just me, and I don't know if that's how a lot of people feels as well, right? But it's up to you.
My ego, you see, you know, you used to say something like this, that everything happening in Nigeria is deliberate. Right. Okay, there's nothing that just happened for nothing. Okay,
that's right.
You see, what thing I want to tell you, there are mysteries that still surround Buhari. One of the mysteries is this: when Buhari was about leaving, he said that nobody should come and interview him.
That's right.
That is one mystery you will ask. Yes, that's one mystery you will ask yourself. How will somebody who rule a country where he's going and you say nobody should come and talk to him, nobody should come and ask him about anything that happened about Nigeria? My brother, and a coded statement. You see, one thing I want to tell the cabals, so-called cabals, you know, tonight, who are Buhari government, the Fulanis, they can fool Nigerians, but they cannot fool Biafrans. Now they cannot told them cabals, say, come, if you say that Buhari was not dead, Buhari didn't die, conduct DNA and I will drop Biafra. If you conduct DNA and the Buhari that is there is real, is the main Buhari, I will drop Biafra agitation. And Shebina then go kidnap Nan kind of for Kenya, spend billions of dollars, also give some people free crude oil. They shouldn't do all those stress now. Only DNA, that one will cost them much money. Conduct DNA if you ascertain that the thing that is there is the real Buhari. I will drop Biafra. Simple and short. They couldn't. They arrested. They are kidnapping now. They couldn't even put that very.
You know that part where they charge him that he said this Bokwari is a cloned one, right? In their charge sheet, right? But I think they told them that if you say this Buhari is not dead, and you say Unago have to bring this Buhari to court to and do DNA and all that, they remove it. They remove that part in their charges.
My ego, that is the mystery because they cannot prove it. They cannot prove Nnamdi Kanu. Everything Nnamdi Kanu have said, all of them came to pass. The only thing that he said that will have not come to pass, that we will also see in our own time, is the restoration of Biafra. Okay? So my ego, they can continue all they like. You see, once in a while, they will come and say, Buhari, Buhari is not. I mean, they shielded him. Buhari is ignorant of everything that is happening. That when they contacted him, he wasn't aware. This and that. Mayegu, all those things is to make Nigeria forget Buhari and think that nothing happened. But the abomination that Buhari happened, I mean, did during his era, was where we are today.
That's right.
Mayegu, that is one. Secondly, is this our sister Kemi. I want to thank her. She's doing the Lord's work, and I pray that she continues. You see, but there's one thing that she forgot, or maybe she missed in her in her statement. Nigeria is not poor. He should have told the whole world that Nigeria is not poor. That is the criminals that are there that made Nigeria to be poor. Nigeria have a lot of mineral resources that can even feed the whole Africa. Okay? So how can Nigeria be poor? Even France is coming. France never go where poverty is. They are coming to Nigeria now. Because Nigeria is not poor. If Nigeria is poor, France won't be coming there as of this moment. Okay, so that's where only one thing that I faulted in her statement that Nigeria is poor. But every other thing that she's saying, she's absolutely correct, and God will continue to bless her. They want to use her to shine, but you know what?
Like they did there with Anthony Joshua, so that they can say Nigeria is this, Nigeria is that, and they can use that as a leverage. Unfortunately, they were wrong.
Amayego, do you know that Anthony Joshua made mistake to go and dance with Buhari? Since then, he has never win any match. Now fall darling down. So this woman is trying to dodge them before they spoil her career for UK. This thing, where God they carry her up. So thank you, Mayego General. Continue your good work.
Thank you very much, the Prince Jejeman, representing the IPOP for life. That's a good one. Anyway, the line is the line is still pretty much open, and you would have your own say if you choose to. Give me a sec. So there is this ongoing face-off between the people of the Middle Belt and the North. And I'm talking about serious face-off. I'll tell you about it soon. I have another caller. Hello there. Did I get?
Hello, Mayegu.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Good evening. From London.
Good
evening. This is Austin.
Austin, how are you doing tonight, Baba?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Very well, man. Thanks for asking.
Happy birthday belated to your wife.
Thank you so much. She had a wonderful weekend.
Yeah, Mayegu.
Sir.
Yesterday, the show you made was very profound, as usual. Anyway, as usual. But I called because I'm a bit conflicted. Not just for this time. I'm always.
Right.
Sometimes you get frustrated. Sometimes you get conflicted. Sometimes you get really, really messed up, because all sorts of things coming from different, from here, from there. And so in the past few days, you have Kemi coming to play. Now you have, that is after Obi and Obasanjo, they're going around trying to truncate the judicial process. And then, you have all these French, Thiefnubu going to bring French people. And Nigerians don't understand. Personally, let me speak for myself. I don't understand. What is this Nigeria about? I don't think Nigeria should exist as a country.
Yeah.
There's no reason for this.
For those who are benefiting from it directly.
Even those who are benefiting, what are they benefiting really? Let's put it this way: you steal money, you build a house, you buy a few cars, and you have a few girlfriends or wives or whatever. Is that the benefit? Don't you see? Don't they see? Don't they see that it's a road to nowhere? Basically, in fact, to somewhere perdition.
That's right.
In fact, there was this funny thing.
That seems to be the only direction. You're right.
Yeah, this is the road to perdition. In fact, there was this quote. I think I've forgotten who made that quote, but the fact is that hell is empty. All the stuff, the actors in hell are in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So I was go back and forth with one of my cousins, with Kemi. Kemi, of course, I'm not a fan of Kemi. I really don't like her right-wing disposition, the way she speaks about, all those things. But that's her. I'm not a conservative. I've never even listened to them. But on this point, I stand with her because it's her own experience.
That's right.
Now, she was born in England. She went to school. Early years were spent. And frankly, as we speak, part of her lifestyle is influenced by what experience she had in Nigeria. And she's spoken the truth.
That's right.
That look, police people are terrorists. They are thieves. They are terrorists. They can do anything. Look at what is happening to Dele now. All sorts of people coming from the cracks, wherever they crawl from. Suing this, suing that. Would that happen in an organized system? And these are lawyers, supposed to be lawyers.
No. So
my question, without taking too much of your time, my question is, we talk about Biafra, we talk about Oduduwa. I'm from River State anyway. You look at the Niger Delta, I don't know what we talk about there. But frankly, that fraction, that fragmentation is there. The fault lines are there. It's culture. Okay?
Right.
And so when we break up to this little, sub-national units, say for example, we are now a confederation or we are completely independent, do you think that those units would work well, given the nature? Look at what the Bayelsa Labour candidate said. Look at, take that as a benchmark. And then tell me, I keep asking this question, do you think that Nigerians in any form will be able to come together and do something progressive? I don't think so, because I have the experience is there in England. You live in England. Tell me what the Nigerian communities are doing, apart from parties and welcoming these criminals coming from Nigeria. They help them to buy. There was 3 years ago, a friend of mine told me that one councillor in Lagos State brought in about £50,000 to buy a house in England here. I think they went to Bradford to buy. Bradford. I mean, he can't come to London, of course, or he can't go to. He went to Bradford. I'm like, who gave this guy, a councillor in Lagos, £50,000? At the time, the exchange rate was about 400 or so on the parallel market. So that's my question. Let's ponder on that. Who is a Nigerian?
Yeah, you have every right to be skeptical of because we are not going to go and bring even if we break up, like you put it, Austin, right? If Nigeria breaks up to either smaller countries or a confederation, we are not going to have to import the people that are going to run the place, or they are going to take all of us away and bring another set of people to come and fix the place, right? It's still going to be us running the place. And I still strongly believe that despite our skepticism, right, we can run things if the foundation is laid right. For example, a lot of us who comes from Nigeria, living in this country, we are used to this anyhowness, like do whatever it is that, in Nigeria. But when you get to this organized country or societies, nobody really sits you down to say, oh, this is how they behave here, this is how you have to. But the moment you venture into that society, you automatically adjust, right? So what we have in Nigeria is that the system itself encourages all these, bad behaviors, starting from the process of even choosing those who represent you. Nigeria is a place where anything goes. So if the foundation is right, I believe that it is not going to be an El Dorado, okay? But at least it will be something different from what we currently have. Do you get me now? So, let me take this and put you on note, okay? We still have to deal with people who loves to cut corners, but if the system that actually punishes bad behavior is effected and implemented, it may take time, okay? But eventually, everybody will actually have to fall in line. For example, if you take, if the system says if you take bribe, you are going to jail for it. And indeed, you can't bribe your way out of it, whether you are rich or you are poor, whether you are of this high standard or this low standard, it doesn't matter the standard. You use the same level to actually treat everyone. If a judge takes bribe, they go to, for example, you say, okay, if you take bribe and you are caught, you go to life in jail. If a police officer that is supposed to uphold the law, right, is involved in any kind of illegality, you go to jail. And when you have all these things listed that way and it is followed, it is just a matter of time. Do you understand that now? So where standard is built by people, society is built by the people. We are the result of the society that we build. Nigeria is a place where cutting corners or rotten system that enables all of this is the order of the day. So if you are listening to me and you don't think that is possible, then yeah, maybe you are right. I am somebody who believes that a society can be built if the rule of law in that place is upheld for real, okay? And that's exactly what is missing in that contraption. You have people who believe that they are above the law, and indeed they are. Or if you have a situation whereby a state, for example, right, you see a judge of Supreme Court is sentenced to life imprisonment for taking bribe. What do you think the other judges, or if you, for example, if you see 10, 15 judges, right, arrested and jailed for corruption, or you see a sitting governor arrested, the wife arrested, sentenced to death for corruption, don't you think others will be very careful before, like if you are not even governor, you are holding other positions, won't you be very careful in participating in corruption? If you see a president of a country arrested for corruption, for example, abuse of power, and jailed, you are watching it and is sentenced into death for looting. Those of you who are not presidents, who are not, won't you kind of be careful? You see the police chiefs arrested for corruption or bad behaviors, sentenced to jail, and they are actually in jail. So this is how the society kind of will sustain. Everywhere in the world, there is corruption everywhere in the world. What people will never forget is that if you are caught, you are going down for it. You are never above any law in any part of this world except in that Nigeria. That is what is missing. So if we break into subunits and a system that actually punishes bad behaviors, where you have institutions, since the powerful institutions are not powerful people. Nigeria, what we have in Nigeria is that you have powerful men and weak institutions. But if you have powerful institutions, everybody will kind of behave themselves, everyone. Do you understand? So that's my own take on that. But I think I have another caller as well. The Africa Wahala, is that you?
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Good afternoon, my general.
Wahala. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well. Peace to the mighty temple of truth. My inspiration for calling in tonight was to respond to Prince Jejeman's point about Nigeria being a rich country. And it's an opportunity to explain to a lot more people that it's not the truth. It's a poor country. And shout out to my brother, Prince Jejeman. No disrespect to you, bro. Now, if we think about, I'm going to use an analogy of a man. If you have a man that has the skills and ability to make music and art, to make money, but he doesn't make the music, he doesn't make the art. So he's not able to make money. Would you consider that man rich or poor?
I would say poor. Because of what use is that talent or that gift if it is not being maximized or,
Yes, it's not being expressed. And it's the same way where you have someone else, he doesn't have the skills to make music, he doesn't have the skills to make movies or artwork, but he has the ability to tap into resources like maybe AI, or he has friends that he can leverage their skills, and then he makes money, lots of money. Would you consider that person as rich?
Well, I would say he's rich, he's got a talent there.
He doesn't have the direct talents, but he's able to use other people's talents and other resources out there. Same thing applies to a country like Japan. Japan is not a minerally wealthy country, but it's one of the richest countries in the world. And we all consider Japan to be a wealthy country, even though it doesn't have natural resources. So all what I'm saying is Nigeria is not a rich country. It's supposed to be rich, but it's not rich. And we all understand the reason why. Mismanagement. But one of the reasons why a lot of us want to believe that we are rich is our ego. It's a way that we feel good about ourselves. So when we say, we are so rich, but it's just bad politicians. But maybe when we start, we start telling ourselves the truth that we are actually a poor country, maybe it might give some people ideas on how to move us out of this mess that we're in. But yeah, that's my contribution for the evening. Thank you so much, my Ogun General.
Thank you too, man. You have spoken well. You have a good afternoon or evening over there.
You too. Yes, sir.
That's a very good one also, that you have these resources and we are working on the wealth, but we do not have the capacity to turn these resources to wealth, a wealth that can be redistributed. Imagine those who are in charge of Nigeria are more interested in selling these resources and collecting money, not in any way thinking of how to turn these resources into our own use, our own wealth, but rather on people coming in to come and take them. They brag about us being rich in mineral resources, but very poor when it comes to our immediate need. It's interesting. Yeah. Hello.
Hi, Mr. Mayegu.
Yes, sir. How are you, sir?
This is a veteran, but a first-time caller. I'm surprised I got in.
Oh, I'm glad you did, by the way. So I am going to give you this. That's how we welcome our first-time callers. Such a pleasure to have you on, sir. Please.
Thank you. I'm calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
Grand. Thank you very much for calling in, please.
Thank you so much. I just want to say, each time I listen to you, mostly when we started in the kitchen and all that, and up to now.
It's like 9 years ago. That's a while back.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Each time I watch you, I'm like, how do you do it? I don't know, but more to your elbow.
Thank you so much.
I don't know how you do it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I just want to comment about Kemi issue. I think what Nigerians should know is that Kemi was indirectly telling Nigerians that there's no such thing as one Nigeria. Indirectly.
And that really pained them. I won't lie to you.
Yeah.
It pained a lot of people that you begin to feel like, why are they taking it personal? You mentioned that I am this. I have nothing to do with that. That got to a lot of people. It really riled them. But she's been honest.
That shows how gullible Nigerians are. How gullible and how insincere. Okay. So when he made that comment indirectly saying there's no one Nigeria, that touches the nerves of the Fulani cabals, the quote owner of Nigeria. So, and you know that whenever you touch that area, it's like you woken up the lion in them.
Yeah.
So that is what Nigerians should know. And secondly, I just hope that each time I listen to you, I hope that we in the diaspora are not the ones you are speaking to only, because the people that need to hear this message are people at home.
So
that need to hear this message you are teaching, because this is not just a broadcast.
In the diaspora. God bless you.
Yeah, it's not just it's not just a broadcast. This is history. This is teaching. This is knowledge. This is understanding. And for so long, Nigerians were, including me before I left Nigeria, including me, we were like tree without root because we didn't know our history.
Mm-hmm.
But now here's an opportunity for them to learn, to know what is going on, because you cannot fight something that you don't know. They need to listen to what you are saying so that they can grow and not to pick their fight. Because if you watch closely, you will see that before every revolution, at the end, the bad people always come back to power. Think about it.
You're right. You're right. Because a lot of people don't understand that if you are fighting for something to change, there's a chance that those who are responsible for the rot will always join you towards the end of it, so that they can do what is called rebranding. They will rebrand themselves, and suddenly they will be speaking on behalf of the people. So that when the opportunity presents itself again, they will reincarnate themselves, and then they will take you back to that swamp that you thought you are kind of like draining, or you are swimming out of. You're right. That's why we need to educate our people that when you get rid of these guys, you must also try and thrive to be better than them in replacing them, or else it's all a waste.
Yeah. So thank you so much for this platform, and God bless you, sir.
And you too. Thank you so much. I didn't grasp the name earlier. Is that something you would like me to know?
You can call me Sunday.
Sunday. I saw the name earlier. I just wanted to be sure that is where you would like to be called. It's such a pleasure, sir. That's fine. Speaking to you. Okay. Thank you very much, and you have a good one. Yes, sir. That's a Sunday from Atlanta, Georgia. I have another person on the line. This time around, it is our brother Chigozie from Lagos. Chigozie, how you doing, sir?
Baba Maregu.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Good evening.
Good evening, all.
I'm doing good.
Grand.
Baba, just say, I call you respond of one of our brother, who is like saying, if we are separate, if we separate on our difference way, we are going to always be the same way.
Like
the same way Niger is really the country. It's always going to be the same way.
I don't believe that.
So
he has the right to be skeptical. You know, it's not as if to say we are going to import these different people to those places. It's still going to be us, maybe under different names or countries, right? But it's still going to be us, and there must be a change of attitude and change of system for real.
Yes, and those people who is running this system for Nigeria now, we have to push them aside totally. We'll make sure that those ones is not mingled with the new government. Let's just take example from this Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali.
Mali governments.
There is changes over those countries now. But if they did not take the action from the first time, there will not be changes. Things will be getting more worse for them. So I want to just let our brother know that once we separate, the government will be running very, very, very good, very great. The system will be different, totally different, because what do I want to say, Seth?
And now, like we'll be wrong.
If you look all the days before they call us one Nigeria, we East are doing well, Yorubas are doing well, Hausas are doing well. because it can question your government if they do any mistake. But for this one Nigeria, we have different language, and you cannot question anybody. Hausa hate Igbo. Igbo look like Hausa. We always like to dey fight one tribal fight. And normally Fulani and Hausa, let me just say Fulani because Hausa is not bad like that. Fulani normally hate Igbo to the last. And the worst, what there is a limit between country, it cannot work. So when we separate, everybody going your way, the government is good, so the system will be run very smooth. Once the law is there, you come, you obey the law. The law that were bad with poor and the rich equal. You cannot go against the law.
Once you try that, you get punished. It doesn't matter how powerful
you get punished.
That is what you call the powerful institutions, not powerful men. What Nigeria have right now, what Nigeria they have in Nigeria right now is powerful men, not powerful institutions. People feel they are bigger than all the courts, they are bigger than this and bigger than that. A country can't survive.
And the court feel that they can judge anything they like, they can take any decision as long as you give them the money, you have no problem. Well, I don't I want to say more contribute to that.
No, you have spoken well. I mean, I appreciate the fact that a lot of us are understanding that for a country to work, there must be some level of first, there must be powerful institutions. And institutions will not operate itself. Okay? No institution will operate itself. A human being will operate. So that is why when you make institutions powerful, indeed, you make people powerful. I mean, so you make the people independent, people that run institutions, and lay down rules, laws that really, really or truly empowers institutions that make me and you. I am somebody now that knows that no matter the no matter the greatness I achieve in this country, I am not above the law. If I run foul of the law, I will be punished severely. There's no amount of connection. There's no amount of whatever it is that will spare me. The only people that seems to be pretty much above the law in this country are the royalties. And it's not as if they go about breaking the laws and all that. There are those who still have a bit of leverage or privileges above things, but everyone else, you get, even they themselves will not deliberately go about and be breaking the law. You get what I mean? So that is to tell you that there must be greater powerful institutions, and these are those that will run, that will create powerful countries where everyone is equal above that law. Here is Jerry. Hello.
Hello, Mayegu. How are you doing?
I am very well, sir. How are you?
Okay. All right. This is Jerry from Texas.
Great to hear from you again, Jerry. Sir, please.
Thank you for picking my call.
Thanks so much for calling in.
I listened to your presentation yesterday.
Yes, sir.
And I had something, mine is when something flashed in my mind, and I just thought I should just bring it up.
That's wonderful. You have the floor.
All right. So, Olusegun Obasanjo said that, how did he present it? He said that
he said his Nigerian
he believes in Nigeria
greater than his Yorubaness.
Great. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so why won't his Nigerianness be greater than his Yorubaness when he was a two-time or actually three-time president of Nigeria? He received a pension as a military governor and received a pension again as a civilian president, and probably received a pension again as military.
You are even talking about pension. Let's talk about his oil blocks that people are holding for him in proxy. Let's talk about the land. What about the land? Obasanjo have lands in all the 6 geopolitical zone of Nigeria, which he didn't pay a dime for. Go on.
So, and I heard you say he is selfish, and I think all these people that are supporting one Nigeria, they all have something that they're benefiting from different sources. Either pension, look at Gowon, I'm sure he's still being paid. Babangida have oil blocks, I'm sure he's still receiving his their salaries and whatever. And all that of them, bro, they will not want to let Nigeria break up because they are still benefiting from people's suffering, people's anguish and hunger. So yes, that's the part that flashed in my mind, and I thought you didn't bring it up. I thought, wow, maybe I should just call in and say, hey,
I said
that man would, you say he's selfish. He don't even like Yoruba people.
I said, if I happen to be your former president too, share you got. Me too, I go tell you, say Nigeria is a great country. Nigeria is working well.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that's you will. Yeah, anybody, a lot of selfishness. Thank you. Thank you. So yes, that's selfishness, that he don't even care about the suffering, the poor masses, hunger, poverty, and all the things going on in the land. So yeah, that's something I thought I should contribute. You know, I joined this program midway, but I'll go back and listen to the beginning part.
Thank you so much, Jerry. Thanks, man, for stopping by. Okay, I appreciate the call as well. You have a good one, sir. Okay. So that's Jerry, ladies and gentlemen. I also have here on the line, I believe this is Elijah Wahab. How are you, sir?
Hello, Maegun.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Wagbayo.
Ashe Baba.
From the last caller and the previous caller as well. My brother, if Nigeria divide, we always be neighbor to each other.
That's right.
I like what you say, brother. To divide Nigeria is not the end of the world for anybody. But yesterday, Maegun was I called more than 50 times. When you say that guy called 90 times, I said, oh, this guy called more than me. I just want to contribute to what you said yesterday. Very nice show.
Go ahead, sir.
To the extent, all those people, the press and our friend, even some of my family, they're telling Kemi is ignorant, this and that, all everything. Please listen. The press are saying, oh, she's tarnishing Nigerian name. So, and the people that will come and invest in Nigeria, they will be thinking about that. If you go to their embassy, they will not give you the visa. Nigerian police that. Okay, my only one question for all of you, including those Arise TV presenter and all of them, and Kemi Olu lawyer and all of them, and Sheun Kuti and all of you, just listen to this one question. So, all those foreign countries that don't have embassy in Nigeria, you think they will not ask you about your judiciary? Is your judiciary okay? You locking somebody up, taking it from Lagos to Ekiti, finding love case from all over 32 states, maybe 5 states or whatever you're saying. So those people, they are not looking to that. So you can't compare what Kemi Badnoch say with Anthony Joshua. I like Anthony Joshua. They're presenting to come and talk about Commonwealth on that day. And they're playing all this game. And thank you very much, Maegun. Lukman Ademola won title today. I saw it on your show for the first time today.
Yes, sir.
He has something to say. He thanked the president. He thanked his teammate. But is Nigerian police all right to you, all these people? Especially to those, all these people in Arise TV. Is Nigerian police working right? That's the question you should ask yourself. This lady is saying the right thing. He's saying the right. What she's saying is what everybody have already experienced with Nigerian police. What about Nigerian custom? I'm about to share that thing tonight. Nigerian custom that killed somebody, shoot somebody in Edo State. The person doesn't even travel from Semeboda. He have already cleared himself coming from Nigeria airport in Lagos, going to his family. Because the guy is arguing with them, he's not going to give them 5,000 naira or no 5,000 naira. Maybe the boy is coming from Italy. During the time of Buhari, what about all these things within people? Why are you people so shady? That what this guy say, everybody have something to say. And some people are even saying on their TV show, are you mad? Baba Kemi is a doctor. Her mother is a professor, and they've been here in the early 80s or late 70s. That's not Japa. You should think about what you're talking. Our family are more better than most of you talking. They are not cleaner. They are not window cleaner. They are not security in London. A doctor and a professor. Man, Kemi, I don't like your party, but anytime election come, I campaign tonight. I will volunteer myself. I will give you my time pro bono.
Yes.
Inshallah, she will be the next Prime Minister.
She's won a voter.
She's wonderful. I've never studied somebody's portfolio since the last 2-3 days. I've been watching all the smart speech this lady is throwing in the parliament. She's very tough.
She's actually a tough cookie. On that one, though, you can easily see the resilience in her, and
she's
all
a
that.
fighter.
She's not a pushover to start with.
And she's not a pushover. Even I see when she did. Sorry, Maigun. Yes, and one lady was saying something today too. One Yoruba woman. Alaja, tó bá yẹ pé bóyá gbé yín wá sí ìlú òyìnbó. Ẹ má fi ara yín wé màmá Kẹ́mi àbí bàbá Kẹ́mi. Ọlọ́run kò foríjì bàbá ẹ̀. Ipe Kẹ́mi ó wá ń kọlẹ̀kùn wa. Ṣé Naija Farage ni kó wá kanlẹ̀kùn lẹ́yìn kẹ̀kẹ́ gbé vóòtì fún ni àbí báwo? Ẹ̀yin ẹlòmíì máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ní pé òun jọra ẹ̀ lójú pé ó wá ń kanlẹ̀kùn wa. Bọ́ ṣe ń ṣe lóyìnbó nìyẹn. Ọmọ wa kanlẹ̀kùn yín. Wọ́n á bá yín sọ̀rọ̀.
Ẹ̀yin ló fẹ́ represent.
Ẹ̀yin ló fẹ́ represent agbègbè ibi tó dẹ̀ bí represent náà lẹ́ ń gbé. That's why she come and knock your door. Open your sense, Malaja. Yeah. Come on, man. And number 2, I'm going to finish up. Okay, look at this case of that lady, that Indian lady, Patel. I forget her first name. Patel. When she said the Indian people are using her, they say Indian government are using her. She's a double agent. So you want Kemi to go and sit down with the Thiefnubu agent now, something like that. The British CIA they will tear up one tears pieces, and that's what Niger Farage people will be using against her. Say Nigeria, you can't trust them. You can't. That's the time that all of them they know who Thiefnubu is.
If they fix Nigeria, they don't need Kemi to come and do.
They don't need it. Oh, say Nigeria no the Kemi say sorrow. Not say Tara no say sorrow.
Anyway, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Man, I really love your show, and I will always love your show. Thank you very much.
Alaji,
and everybody on the show too. Thank you. Yes. Please, we are now on 596. Please give the thumbs up, please. Please,
Alaji. Thank you, sir. You have a good one. I have another caller here. A quick one. Hello.
One name.
Osita. One name.
One name Duto, one name Dinamba.
One name Dinamba. Osita, my brother from another mother. How are you tonight, sir?
All those accolades for you. Not to any other person.
I'm sharing some with you. I don't want to keep it all.
Yes, if Thiefnubu like, let him go and hug the transformer.
We don't care. Exactly.
I know if I'm hailing you, he's squeezing wherever he is. He's folding.
As it should be.
Yeah.
It's good to hear from you again, Baba.
Yeah. You know, I just want to contribute on the issue of Kemi that has been going back and forth. Either we like it or not, she's on our side, so she's our own.
You get?
She's saying the truth as it is. She's not being political. And the reason she's not being political is because she is not identifying herself with the Nigerian, this is modern, I would say the Nigerian zoo government. The reason she's speaking the truth is because she's not blind. There are some people who are blind from the heart, in the soul and physical.
You know?
And she's saying it the way we ourselves are seeing it.
It's her experience. She experienced this thing. You want her to lie? How do you think that works for everyone?
Did she lie in whatever she says?
She didn't lie.
You know, because people, I'm ashamed of what I saw with Arise as regards to her comments. If that's what journalism is all about, I keep telling you, one of the biggest problems that we have in Nigeria is journalism. Sometimes I look at Nigeria and see there is one program one guy has. He is likening it to Anderson 360 degree in one of the TV stations in Nigeria. But yet you will not say the truth. How Anderson, at least most of the times, they say it. So why do you want to be like them? In fact, all these guys in mainstream media in Nigeria, they are supposed to be coming to the TV naked so that we can see them properly.
Oh, who they are.
Naked. To know who they are. You know, the reason whosoever is the vice president of Nigeria, that's Ragamuvian. The reason that Ragamuvian has the impetus to start replying back and forth, whatever she says, is because he knows that the world knows that they are all criminals. If they are not criminals, he wouldn't have even, he wouldn't even react. But it's because that is who he is, his identity. He identified with Boko Haram. We saw in the Buhari administration, whereby Pantami or whatever they call it.
It's a pandemic.
Yes, somebody who is a terrorist apologist, a world-acclaimed terrorist apologist. That is the person you give a minister in Nigeria.
Communication, no. So be looking into our emails, our phone calls, our text messages.
Yes, and somebody came to TV to tell us that Buhari doesn't know what was going on.
I don't believe him.
Yeah, who the hell do you, I mean, what do people think that we are in 2024? That people will just come to TV station and spoon rubbish. You see that thing he went to that podcast to do, that Lalong guy. What he went there was what they sent him to come and do. They want to start exonerating Buhari. That, oh, it is cabal. Tomorrow, another people will exonerate Thiefnubu. That is when they will
know anything.
Yes, that is when they will know that Thiefnubu is 94 years old, 95 years old. That, oh, actually, they will tell us that time that actually he was claiming 70 something, but he's actually 90 something years old. He didn't know. They can give you that kind of frivolous excuses. So all those things we are looking at, that guy came there to exonerate, oh, that he doesn't know what he's doing, is a lie.
He was a prisoner. He was a prisoner of his own appointees.
That is emphatically a lie.
Like a slap on my face, man.
Like a slap on our face. Somebody who came, who went abroad visiting different head of states, and you are telling me that he is not in control of his government. He is totally in control of his government.
Yes, he was.
He holds responsibility of everything that happened in that particular tenor. So let nobody come here and tell us that, oh, that he doesn't know. It was hijacked. He was hijacked. He campaigned twice.
They only used him to get to power, and they dumped him.
So
really? That's a fact.
That is a sham for me if somebody keeps saying that. So that is the truth. And lastly, I want to say, yes, we know Nigeria is poor. But if Nigeria is poor, I am telling you the gospel truth, my brother. If Nigeria is poor, the way people say Nigeria is poor, Nigeria will have broken. But it's because of the largesse they see in Nigeria. We are still bonded. The only reason Nigeria has not broken, Nigeria is bonded by greed. That greed is because of what they are enjoying. The moment you remove that thing that they are enjoying, I am telling you the gospel truth, everybody will go their separate way.
I agree. I do.
So
that's one reason why they said that once there's no money to share anymore, there will be nothing called Nigeria again.
There will be nothing called Nigeria again. So that is just the reality. I want people to understand that. I was talking to somebody this morning and I said, the way I look at it, if that anarchy does not set in, whereby people will take laws into their hand, that police will see you on the street and police will take off. The army man will see you on the road. He will be pulling off his uniform until we get to that particular point. That is when Nigeria, this thing that they call Nigeria, will fall, and we all will go our separate ways. And lastly, there is something that we've not tried before. Let's not assume that if we break, that at the end of the day, are we not still the ones that are going to govern ourselves? I am telling somebody no, because we've not tried it. When we try it, we will find out if it is going to work or not. So let's not be afraid to try it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Osita, for that submission. Here we have we've had an interesting evening or night. Depends, and I know a lot of people who missed out calling in yesterday are doing everything they can to get on board this evening. We're almost out of time, okay? So I'm going to extend our stand up by another 10 minutes. Let's see if we can take one or two more calls and call it tonight. Here is, hello.
Hello, my ego.
Hello, sir. How are you?
How you doing, bro? I'm good, I'm good.
Grand, I'm very well as well. Thanks for asking. Please.
Yeah. It's Victor from Germany.
That's Victor from Germany. How is Germany this evening? I heard that you are having your own trouble. Your government, they are having their own trouble too. What's actually happening in Germany today, Victor?
Oh, well.
Like in France, so it's like the government of Germany is also like shaky as we speak. The people in government, right?
This Ukraine something is what is affecting all the countries that got.
Anyway, we can probably talk about that some other time, okay?
No matter what it is.
Let's talk about the contraption and that the one that brought all of us on or kept us awake.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, it's the issue of Kemi Badino. You know, Nigerians they just don't like facing reality. They don't like people telling them the truth about themselves.
Hypocrite.
You understand? Hypocrisy is what is killing us in that country. Suffering and smiling, according to Fela. You know, people that will be worshiping their oppressors. I think it's Harriet Truman that said, you know, if only the slaves knew that they were slaves, I could have freed more of them. You know, so Nigerians are just happy being, you know, living in that squalor and that's, you know, terrible situation that's they're, you know, that they're experiencing there. The situation prevailing out there, you know, I wonder where else that happens in the world and the people tolerate it apart from Nigeria. You know, these people, I don't want to say we are not exposed or maybe it's just our docility.
We're just selfish, okay? Because a lot of these people, right? A lot of us, we see ourselves in these criminals as well. You understand? Like a different, it depends. Like I said, you know, Nigerians love their oppressors differently. For example, someone will tell you that my own thief is better than your own thief. My thief is a God-fearing thief. Your own is not. My own thief is a philanthropist. Yours is not. My own thief is a Christian. Yours is Muslim. So they love their thieves and criminals differently because they see themselves in them. There are people who see themselves in Thiefnubu, see themselves in all these rogues. That's if they are not, if this, I mean, they wish to be like them. And that's the problem. That's why they expect everybody to be living the lie. Just live the lie. You don't have to say it. Must you say it? Just don't say it that way.
I just can't believe it. I just can't believe it. I think if we don't stop this idea of maybe, you know, religion, you know, ethnicity, fine, we all know where we come from.
Yes, we do.
But if only we will call a spade, you know, we'll start telling the truth. That's the only way. Like Farotimi actually said, it's only the truth that will lead us, that will set us free from all this nonsense that is prevailing out there. You understand me? And Maego, this might not be directly related to what we've been discussing anyway.
Okay.
You see, one thing I noticed, this is entirely up to you. You know, you organize your program, you know what you want to bring in and things like that. I know this is something that has happened in the past. And when people talk about the issue of Nigeria, they tend to forget that Nigeria just wasn't, not East and the West. They tend to forget that, somewhere around 1963, there was a plebiscite that actually, gave the Midwestern part of Nigeria their referendum that, they had their own autonomous, And sometimes, I don't have anything against our brothers in the East that are fighting for their freedom. In fact, I wholeheartedly supported them. But you see, when they start including Midwestern area to their territory, that creates a kind of problem without negotiation. I mean, if they come around discussing it with us, they have negotiated. That's why they have all this opposition. Maybe a lot of us would have supported them because, I'm very much in support of what they are doing. Unfortunately, people are having to pay with their lives for it. Because what is happening in Nigeria, nobody will tolerate that. That is nonsense. But we in the Midwest, the former Midwest, we don't want to jump from frying pan to fire. We don't want to be leaving Nigeria be subservient or be subjected to another.
And at the same time, when you are living, you are being forced to somewhere you don't want to be. Let me clear you on that, Jerry. Let me clear you on that. We've had a lot of people on social media, who have been ignorantly pushing some sort of ignorant, ideas. So when it comes to this self-rule, and when we talk about the Biafra, or when we talk about the Yoruba nation, But one thing people should know is this: apart from the awareness that this whole thing is really good for, right? When it comes to self-determination, right? Including whether we still want to be part of Nigeria or not, Something people need to know, everybody from everywhere, right, is that we must know is that when that time comes, people would have to choose where they want to be. That's why it's called referendum. That we don't have Midwesterners pushing for their own independence right now among all the what those people are actually clamoring for. It doesn't mean that you do not have a say. The smallest group of people in Nigeria, in today's Nigeria, should have a say. And when that time comes, people would have to choose where they want to be. All right? Because when we talk about, I want to say when we talk about, there are those who will tell you that Biafra is comprises of the old Eastern region. And like you just rightly put it, right?
The Eastern region, for those that are old enough.
Sorry, go on.
They should know that for those that are old enough, they should know that Eastern region does not comprise part of the West. Midwest.
No,
Midwest.
Yeah. So and we just need to, people like yourself should never take offense, when people are ignorantly pushing that kind of idea. It is not binding. You understand? I had this old Western, Western region map, right? Which covers part of Edo State up to Delta and all of that. But that is no longer viable. In essence of, like you just rightly said, right? The Midwestern region was finally carved out of the Western region. And some part of what we call the Eastern region as well, old Eastern region. So what that means is that we have over 200 ethnic nationalities in Nigeria, which they love to call tribes. But where things got mixed up was when those who our progenitors were saying there are 3 major ethnic nationalities in Nigeria: Yoruba, Hausas, Igbos. That's not true.
Very annoying.
Do you get that now? So, but those of us who are educated enough today should always remember something. When it comes to deciding where we are all going, every ethnic nationality in Nigeria would have a say. In this instance, we are over 500 of us. Do you get that now? So, but it's because people are not entertaining that conversation yet. That is why a lot of people are pushing different agenda, this agenda, that. Or I will advise a lot of our people not to kind of become so upset. I've had people on social media who are attacking themselves because of this. Or education really, really counts. So, and I'm glad you raised it. Don't take offense in all of that. Okay? Last, we must remember that even this Biafra we are talking about is not just about Easterners. Do you understand? Today,
it's all about our freedom, my brother.
Do you get that? No, that's not even that. I mean, it's not just about the Igbos. Eastern Nigeria is not about Igbos only. There are more than 100 ethnic nationalities in that part of the
Can you
Eastern region.
imagine?
You get that?
The so-called wealth of Nigeria is located in that area. But I, for one, I've never ever benefited anything from Nigeria since I was a child and up to this age that I am now. Nothing.
So when we have a chance to decide where we want to be, right? That simply means everyone will represent his or our own tribe or ethnic nationality, and we can choose where we want to be.
Exactly.
God bless you, Jerry. You have a very good one, okay?
It's good to my brother. It's not Jerry.
Thank you so much. So it's a good one. Let me quickly say this, all right? We've had people who, out of the politically motivated hatred in Nigeria, especially what led to the genocidal war. Sorry, my caller. I want you to hang in there for me for a second, okay? I just want to say this. There was so much propaganda that was spread by those who claimed, those who claimed to be victorious out of that genocidal war. Gowon and his gang, that they spread this level of hatred, animosity, and suspicion among all the tribes and ethnic nationalities in the old Eastern region, and not just them, even to the rest of Nigeria, against the Igbos. And this is why the Igbos are considered the most endangered ethnic nationality in Nigeria today. When you ask a lot of people why they are afraid of the Igbos, they will tell you that their parents told them that the Igbos always wanted to dominate them. But what they won't tell you is that before the genocidal war, right? The Igbos, the Anangs, the Jaws, the Shekiris, the Urobos, the Soko, all of them existed in the old Eastern region, one of the most organized regions in Nigeria, pre and post-independence. Everyone was running their own affairs. It simply means that, you see, in the old Eastern house in Nigeria, every tribe, right, was represented in that house. There was nothing like, I am from Akwa Ibom State, and then I am representing Akwa Ibom. No. In Akwa Ibom, if you have up to, let's say, 50 tribes there, right, when they are marked out, right, you will see them represented in the old Eastern region. They were coexisting. The development was pretty much like the same. But when the agent of division that believed that the only reason or the only way that they could keep Nigeria as what it is to continue to spread that fear, suspicion, that if you break up with these people, this Biafra, they are going to dominate you. Remember what they did. Remember what they did, this and that. Meanwhile, they remind people of the atrocities of the Biafran soldiers. But no one wanted to remember the atrocities of the Nigerian soldiers who entered the same old Eastern region, the Biafra region, and slaughtered civilians at will. They don't want you to remember that. But they want you to kind of keep that animosity on, because by so doing, you will never have any agreement that will say, let's come together or keep ourselves together for the economic prosperity of our region. So keeping you divided that way is to keep the hatred going. So, but in this day and time, nobody should be forced to be part of anything they don't want to be part of. Fine. And that is why it will be upon us that when that time comes, people can choose where they want to be. Just know that that is possible. Nobody should be forced to be part of anything they don't want to be part of. But right now you are forced to be part of something that a lot of you don't want to be part of. You were not even asked. This Nigeria, we were never asked if you want to be part of it or not. No, we were not. So if somebody is telling you that Nigeria is better for you than others, then they should let you decide. Hang on. I hope I still have my collar on. Hello there.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Mayegun.
Baba, I'm so sorry I kept you waiting that long. Okay, how are you?
No, I'm not even angry. This is my first time calling on your show.
Oh, bless you. Let me welcome you.
Thank you. My name is Sheun Odufuwa. I'm calling from Lagos, Nigeria.
Sheun Odufuwa. That sounds like a name I know. Maybe not Sheun, but that Odufuwa sounds so.
I'm an Ijebu man.
Eh?
I'm an Ijebu man. Ijebu is those to be precise.
Exactly. How are you doing, brother?
I'm fine.
Great.
I want to comment on so many issues. First, Nigeria problem is fundamental right from inception.
It is.
Now, this is it. First, when the British came in, they look at Nigeria. The Fulanis have already conquered the Hausa kingdom right from time that's I think around 17th, 18th century.
I think it was
now
from the record anyway, it was like 1804 to 1809 or thereabout. But yeah, you are not far off, man. You're not. Go on.
Because I was able to glance through my grandfather's archive because he was a politician under Action Group, Chief Afe Babanlaole. He even became a provincial councillor then. So I was able to glance through all plans of Chief Afe Babanlaole for Western Nigeria then. Now, let me break it down. Now, the Fulanis, their own point is their own is to conquer, install Islamic in every part of Nigeria.
That's right.
Because of the resources. That's one. Two, the British came in. Their own agenda is also to conquer too. So when you have two bedfellows together, what did they do? They will mingle together and execute the plan. That is what is happening right now in Nigeria. That's one. Thirdly, they saw the progress Chief Afe Babanlaole have been doing since. Look at the first TV station in Africa. France does not even have TV station when Western Nigeria already has. That was in 1956 or thereabout. Then the free education, exactly. Free education Awolowo did. They tried it in Eastern Nigeria, couldn't meet up. That was when Azuke said, okay, look, let me look at this policy of what this man is doing so that it can go back and implement it in the East. Then see that, okay, if Awolowo should continue in that projection, I'm telling you the fact that US, Britain will be at our mercy. So the only thing they can do is to put tantrums among the ethnic nationalities and scatter them. And you remember, Nigeria is not a country. Nigeria is a company, Royal Niger Company.
Yes.
So all the people living in Nigeria are all collateral damage. So whether you survive or you don't survive is none of their business. What they are after is the resources they need from that country.
That's right.
That is it. Now, from President Thiefnubu, I was 13 years old when I told my late dad. My dad died 2 years ago. I told my dad, I said, Daddy, please stop going to this APC meeting. There's nothing there. Because my daddy actually believed them that they took some of Awolowo's policy and incorporated it into ACN down to APC. But I've looked at it. I told my father, I said, Dad, this thing will not work. Actually, before I even finished secondary school, that was around 19, I was in JSS2. I told my dad, I said, Dad, this man can never be a good president. That's Thiefnubu. That look at what he has done in Lagos State. He has virtually done nothing. Lagos was more dirtier than before. Even Marwa even tried more than look, let me tell you something. I'm staying in Lekki right now. Let one rain should fall right now before you start using boat to go to your office. Okay, no, to go to your office. That was one by this. I told my dad, I said, look, these are the things. The only governor that I see that actually worked very well, even though it's somehow corrupt, is Ambody. The rest, rubbish. They all did cosmetic surgery in Lagos. So I told him he can't be a good president. So all these Balablu are already know that he has nothing upstairs. Now to now even make it worse, he's now a CIA agent. That's even the worst. It's a calamity to any nation. Any nation that the president is an CIA agent, sorry, the country can never progress. The country can never progress. So let me quickly chip in another one. This concerning about Kemi Badenoch. In fact, I'm in love with that woman. I'm totally, in fact, and my prayer is that she should even become the British Prime Minister. That's my prayer. Now, Shettyman or whatever I call himself, he has no right, he has no moral right to tell Kemi to drop a Yoruba name. That is a Yoruba name. And I told one of my colleagues today, I said, Kemi is not a Nigerian name, is a Yoruba name. So she has the right to name whatever it is. Yoruba is not a woman.
She said, she actually said that proudly. She said, I am more affiliated to my Yoruba tribe than this Nigerian.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. We already know Boko Haram, all these things.
That riled them up a lot.
Exactly. So all this one, I watched Arise News today, and I was listening to Ruben Abati, Rufai, and Ayo and Oji Okpe on the issue of Kemi Badenoch and so on and so. I just look at what is these people saying. They are just saying rubbish, pure big rubbish. She has made a point. Is Yoruba more than Nigerian? So Yoruba, Kemi is Yoruba name, not a Nigerian name. That was one. Two. Concerning the police, truly, Nigerian police is even, I don't even know which is more corrupt than between Nigerian police and NEPA or custom. I don't even know. Every virtual agent of the Nigerian government agencies are virtually, fantastically, morally corrupt. I'm even looking for another adjective to even qualify them. They are more than corrupt.
Be right. They have had this award for years, and they have never made any attempt to reform themselves. They don't have any intention of. So if anybody is trying to defend them today, they are not defending them because they love Nigeria. They are doing so because they hate Nigeria, but they are too hypocritical in their ways to admit it. They don't like you being so honest in that regard. They want you to lie.
Exactly.
But the rest of the world knows Nigeria now than some of us can even say. Baba?
Yes.
So why do you want us to be lying? And be lying that, and even lying fix the rot in that place.
No matter, even if your lie goes, even if your lie use Rolls Royce, one day bicycle will catch up with it.
I'm telling you. See, Baba, thank you so
bicycle
much.
Catch up.
Because of time.
Thank you very
much for stopping by. You are in an enigma. I'll put it that way. And I hope I hear more from you on the platform. Okay, stay safe, bro.
No problem.
You have a good one.
Yeah,
right?
thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So I am taking just one more. This time around, I think it is Adeola. You always call in last, and you only have just about a minute and at most 90 seconds, a minute and 30 seconds. Can you use it?
Baba, confirm, I go use 30 seconds. It's just a quote I'm going to drop.
No, I said you
I'm
have
dropping
90
just one
seconds.
quote.
So yeah, it's up to you.
I'm dropping a quote. This is no conversation. Just think in your mind's eye when robbers go to a bank to rob, and they come out of the bank and they choose to use a getaway car to run away. Nigeria is the getaway car. Nigeria is the car for robbery. That is the car they're using to rob people there. Nigeria is the car they use as a getaway car for robbery. You can pick and choose who the robbers are. But that entity called Nigeria, that name that God did not give us, it is the vehicle, is a getaway car, and every now and then they will keep on repairing that car so they can keep on cutting away all the things that we are meant to use individually as different regions. So that's my submission, Baba. I don't want to take your time. Baba, good night.
Yeah,
bye,
thank you so much for going straight to the point yourself. And to every one of us on the platform this evening or this night, remember, you have a choice to make. But one thing you should know again is that Mayegun's Diary Politico is just a platform to help you gather your thoughts, to help you gather your your evidence, all right? So that when you're thinking about Nigeria and the players within the space, what they stand for in the truest essence of it, you are never going to be in the dark. You are not meant to be in the dark. You are meant to be in the light. And Mayegun's Diary Politico is like the torch bearer. Now, what you do with all this information is completely yours. The reason why you are here is that you will never be in the dark of what is going on in Nigeria. Now that you know better, as we always say, they said, if you do know better, the right thing for you is what? To do better. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of the evening. For those of you who are just approaching evening, and to those of us who are already at night, right? I'm going to say good night. So, thank you and good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun Diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun Diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun Diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun Diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Mayegun Diary Diary politico. Mayegun Diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun Diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun Diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary láyé bí nọ́mbà wá. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bíjó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o ayé.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lú ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o ákàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.